Ladies, gentlemen, and androids. PodzQuad Network presents to you the one and only PodzQuad. This is the internet's hottest Thursday night variety opinions and late night talk show. Prepare your ear holes and eye sockets for the phenomenal cast of all cast in viewership history. We have comedy, the Ghetto media news, Illuminati 101, eat this, don't eat that, new energy spiritual center insights, business stuff, try to not laugh, ask an expert, questions from the crowd, spooky investigations, the Bible thumper, wrestling, food reviews, and what would you do situations. Stay tuned for the end because we play games that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Support us by liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channels or social media at PodzQuad. Tonight's episode features the prolific, magical groundbreaking, angel sword swinging Poegosi, aka Sinister Poe of Drunk Wizard Gaming. The Alchemist, Frontline Warrior, Fountain of Creation. Dini Michi aka Houdini Black of iHeartRadio's Vigilantes Radio. The leader of the Third Light Warrior mission, recording artist, actor, and author. The multifaceted Pastor K.I.S. The Human Library, Master Chef, the Devil's Advocate of the cast, and educator. SK the Wise better known as SK Mac. Rockstar musician, master of kicks and chops, and co-host of What's Up Bro podcast. The knowledgeable, complex, and compassionate, it's Sam Crow.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another incredible episode of the PodzQuad HQ. This is episode 125, and my name is Dini. And we have the homies in the house. We have SK Mac, we have Sam Crow, we have Sinister Poe in the house tonight. It's Thirsty Thursday. Get it out, man. Get it out.
Thursday.
Happy Thirsty Thursday.
Woo!
And we are here. Cheers.
Cheers.
My God, Dini, what are you doing?
Apple juice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll go with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like TV beer. You know how they drink beer?
Yeah.
Drink the liquor like it's water. Yeah.
I don't know that because that apple juice look dark and it look warm. So I don't know.
It was looking cool till he said that. Now he just spilled the beans, but okay. Just pretend you didn't know that.
TV beer, like apple cider.
Yeah.
I got mine on Dini.
Apple cider.
Apple cider.
Right. So what's happening, man? We got this awesome moon in the background. It's like setting the mood.
I'm feeling it.
I feel like telling ghost stories. How are you feeling, Paul?
Feeling good. It's good to be back. I've been in another world, in another realm of dreams, and other dimensions, but I'm back to bring the true power to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, sir. Can't wait to see it manifest. No pun intended. All right. So let's get this show on the road, guys.
I think we miss you. We meaning I asked every time you weren't here. I was like,
thank you.
Where's Poegosi?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm back. I was just trying to reinvent my character to come with something crazier, get better backgrounds. I was just like, nah, we gotta do something different. It's a new year, so we need new beers. But yes,
it's working so far.
Trying to amp it up. I even came up with like this fake name I'm going to start using.
We need like wrestling names. That's what I'm saying.
Oh man, I thought of a first and a last name, and that's usually rare for me. But yeah,
you can't get stripper names. I would like that.
Okay. I need to think about that. What stripper name be?
Dini.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Or
go.
There you go. Who done it?
Or
Or
I got nothing.
setting up
I
to
got
fail. Yeah.
nothing.
I was like, where's this going? Or
Anticlimactic.
it's
You
like,
had
or
my attention, then you lost it. Yep. I was so enthused and I lost it. It's like, and there it is. Yep.
Nowhere fast. Sorry.
But you know, that's how you get your best nicknames when someone else gives it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And again, I said this before. I didn't pick mine. People gave me mine. I didn't choose it. So it just sort of became my persona. So, I tried to pick my own. It wasn't as fun. So when others started using my moniker with the Sam Crow, I'm like, all right, then that's me then. Since everybody seems to know me that way.
Yeah.
We'll take it further.
Let's rewind a little bit. What was your name before Sam Crow? What were you going by?
Well, I was using my real name. I really couldn't find a good, I just couldn't come up with a good moniker. So I'm like, let me just go with my name because, that's all I have. And when we started when Big Hoss and I started gaming, that's where we met. And when we started
That's
exploring, we started exploring out into other worlds, gaming worlds. And then he started calling me that. It kind of started going that way. Other players were kind of noticing me there. So it just became Sam Crow. And that's why sometimes they call me Sam. But that was it sort of took a life of its own. It was like that Frankenstein's monster. I just threw it out there. It was it's kind of like I thought, well, let's try this. And then I thought at first it might be a little too corny, but everybody it took off like 100 miles an hour. So I'm like, I guess this is me. So can't fight the masses. I go with the population. This is who I am.
Actually, you can definitely fight the masses.
Well, when you get your adoring public, as you will learn one day, you kind of sort of just... You kind of just you bow to the will of the people there. That's what they wanted. And so I'm like, all right, this is what I'm known as. This is what, and like everywhere now, people will go like, oh yeah, you're Sam. Yep, that's me. So you come to accept it. Simple as that.
Everywhere you go, people say that.
What's that?
Said everywhere you go, people say that.
Most interactions, mostly a lot of times online and stuff, people that's just they don't even know what my real name was. I told you tell a few people, it's like, oh, I just assumed, right, because my persona became bigger than myself. So when you say my real name, it's just boring. But now the persona is there. Everybody's like, oh yeah, that's right. You have you do the show. Yeah, that's me. If I just said my real name, I'm like, who are you? It's what happens. It takes on a life of its own. So.
Yeah,
I'm a nobody elsewhere other than by my persona. That's about it. That's where they know me.
You're somebody to Poegosi.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, but see, we have a common thread of the personas where we kind of mix that way. It's kind of like you and I have that little clashing thing. We make our own thing work. So there's rapport there.
Does it
That's
work?
why
Does it really work though, Sam Crow? Does it?
I think so. I think so.
I'm just kidding.
I would. I heard a lot of positive things. Like they like the back and forth there. I said that's the whole frenemy persona. So
where you hear that from? Y'all be looking at content that I'm not privy to.
Well, no, I get emails and sometimes
we never talk about that.
Oh yeah, we get all kind of comments.
Am I the crowd favorite? Do people really like me way more than they like y'all?
Well, I haven't took a popularity poll yet.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, next thing you know, SK is gonna be showing up with diamonds and a fur and a poodle and
you don't need a bigger head than what you got. No, that's fine. It's big enough as it is.
Forged out of the bones of each one of my fellow castmates.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna keep going. I was gonna say, Sam Crow may show up with like 10 different women on his arms. And,
Whoa,
I appreciate the confidence there, though. That's an idea, but if you know anybody,
he's like coming in with the Rambo, because he's the master of the chops and karate kicks. He's like the Chuck Norris of PodzQuad.
Honestly, you know what? I might just for the show one night. My old, and I think if you've seen some of my photos, my thing was the fedora like I wore for the drinking game, and I usually wear gloves. So I might go back to that one night just to kind of bring. That was my old musician persona there.
That was my next thing. Poegosi, he's gonna come in his 6-piece suit with the hat and the feather, the large feather.
Yeah,
he's gonna have like rings on every finger and a cane. That's a sword.
I was gonna say Gandalf robes with the hat,
cool.
you know, with the
cool.
sorcerer hat.
Yeah,
and the beard. You need the beard
on a wrecking ball.
You got to have the nice white, long, you know, gray beard like Gandalf. You need the Gandalf beard.
I got to
grow. And K-Ice, he's just gonna be sitting in like a Maserati.
Oh yeah.
he's got
like that Pimp Daddy vibe. Yeah.
He has videos where he was riding in Corvettes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I found those videos and I told him. I said, "Hey, you over here in a Corvette?" And then he's like, "Yeah, that was a long time ago." I was like, "Oh well." He should still use that though. That's content. It makes.
Well, you know, it'd be fun is like if we get on network television, we each have our little intro thing. He'll be driving up in a Corvette for his little intro there, getting out. You know, puffy coat. You know, Puff Daddy, real stuff. His shades, everything. You got to have the whole works, you know. Appearances are everything.
Now, me, you know how on the stages, the artists come out on stage.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. My thing, I would come from like this pool. The pool opened up now. And I'd be like,
that's an idea.
That would be really cool.
I was gonna say that, or you descend from the ceiling, but that works too. Coming from the ground, I think, is much more.
Yeah, descending from the ceiling has been done so many times.
It's been done before, yeah.
Ooh.
It's like parting of the sea. Like there's water, and you just kind of come up, and you're dry as a bone, no wetness, nothing. You're just like untouched. Yeah,
these are all great. These are all beautiful ideas. I love them. This is a question I have. You see a lot of these like multi-million-dollar podcasters, right? Like Aiden Ross or Myron, and they don't do none of that shit. They're just in a chair in a room.
See,
and that's it. And they're just on a microphone. Like, they have the money to do all that, and they're not doing that. Like
exactly.
I'm like,
yeah, them guys got to be goofy like 24/7.
What's the point? Right,
they got to be doing shenanigans 24/7.
Right?
Yeah,
they don't have like an epic persona. They're just like right, but we need to bring that to the content creation, characters and stuff. I don't know. Like I think more of that's needed. Everyone just wants to copy Joe Rogan. I noticed
that only goes so far, and you can't. Everybody can't do that. So
Joe Rogan is just high all the time.
Yeah, he does it.
So there's no secret there. Yeah,
right.
Yo, did you see that thing? Yeah. Tell me about it.
So crazy,
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
See, the personas add mystery, it adds uniqueness, and then of course we have a blend of different personas, which makes it's almost like our own little version of Super Friends. You know, we have this
definitely Super
exactly.
Super Friends were boring. Like, couldn't we be?
No.
Okay.
Read between the lines. Super Friends were petty. They always try to one up each other. They were super petty. Especially Batman and Superman. You two guys are like Batman and Superman.
Wait, wasn't the Wonder Twins
Isn't that Justice League, though?
Yes, they were.
I love the Wonder Twins.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, when they turned into buckets of water.
Not both of them.
When we get bigger, we're gonna start throwing pies at each other. We'll do that for fun.
I like pie.
I do too.
What are we? The three
throw that at me, I'm gonna freaking eat it.
What would I get?
We're going back to like the Three Stooges.
You know what? Hey, SK, do slapstick comedy still exist?
Yeah, does it in modern era? Who does slapstick?
To a degree.
And if it does, who would be the closest to slapstick?
Yeah,
like the Laurel and Hardy, Three Stooges. Who would be closest? Would you say Jim Will Smith and Martin?
Yeah, in the early days.
There's this guy who does a weird combination of slapstick comedy, satire, and a few other elements. I cannot think of his name.
That actually sounds pretty
tragic.
All over Facebook. Hold on, let me minimize y'all.
Yeah. Research that.
That actually sounds.
I think it's like Brandon Rogers or something like that.
Something like I heard of him.
He is. When I say he is super funny, and he does one of his videos. One of my favorite videos he did. He was Rita Repulsa.
Oh, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be nuts.
He's amazing. I'm looking now. I'm trying to find him.
All right, we'll watch something.
It's Mr.
Brandon.
Rogers.
Okay, let me pull him up. It's Brandon something. Now, let me tell you, it's all over the place. And sometimes, yeah, his name is Brandon Rogers.
All
And
right.
sometimes there's some toilet humor in there. I usually
Oh, you gotta have some of that.
skip past that, you know.
He's like, I fast forward past that stuff.
I
That's
just
the
skip
best
past
part.
it.
Oh man.
See, there's such a
Okay.
thing as the classics. The classics you can learn something from. So
Okay,
Yeah,
Just
there's
That's
one
also
called
just like some
I got
more
roasted by my characters.
yeah.
And this
I
is
guess-
like his
I guess this is like bringing back classic comedy. Like old school comedy.
Yeah.
this is pinned on this page, so let's watch that one.
Yeah.
Let's see what
It's
He
so
good.
does a bunch of skits, original skits and stuff. He's pretty funny.
All right.
Yeah, there yeah.
See
Check
this
him
slapstick.
out.
Okay, let's go.
Hello and welcome back to the TV Dirty Roast of Francis Rogers. I'm your host, Helen Brownstein, and joining me is this lovely cast of characters to destroy
Wow.
this mother tonight. You know, they say to roast the ones you love, but YouTube wouldn't monetize us if we put a juicy vein riddle on that throne. So we have to settle for the next closest thing with 2 eyes and a pulse. You know, Brandon, I wish you created me before you lost that juicy ass. Then maybe I'd have a chance at a decent set of tits, you flat fuck. And then you have the nerve to put me in all this makeup. I look more like a clown than that guy.
Well, at least you don't have to get into my makeup. Shut the fuck up. He only paints your face. He does my whole body. Even the butthole. Damn. Sorry, who the fuck is this character? I am a sleep paralysis demon, you fool.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds French and offends me.
Well, I'm just here to have a laugh. That's the spirit, Sam.
And to find out which trauma you birthed me from.
All right, Helen, I call first. Because of this man before us today, I wouldn't have met many of the wonderful people I know now. I wouldn't have met my therapist, my lawyer, and Rule 34 artist who make it a science to draw Disney characters chomping at my snatch.
Oh, please don't say the S word.
Snatchity, snatch it, I'll snatch you back.
No, science.
Oh, loosen your ass, Carol. You know you're played by a homosexual, right?
I have unlearned the word homosexual and I'm therefore confused by your question.
Well, I don't like that Q word, bitch. What question? Confused.
Well, allow me to jog your memory, Carol.
What?
That's a homosexual.
That's crazy.
Oh, Brandon, over the years, you've gotten so fucking gay, incels had to exist just to keep the universe in balance. You've gotten so gay, they had to uncancel James Charles just to remind people the internet still has men.
Oh,
Outlook for giving me the red light now. Please keep using styrofoam,
Oh.
people. The ozone is almost a memory. And donate to my Kickstarter link below to launch Greta Thunberg into outer space.
It's almost a
Lord
memory.
works in mysterious ways, but with you, I'm pretty sure he just worked in a sweatshop.
Good one, Carol. Where'd you learn that one? Church?
Now, you've only played me a couple of times on this channel, but both of those times you have had ungodly diarrhea.
We don't have to go into detail.
I mean, after the first time we worked together, I prayed you would find a nutritionist. Every time you portray
God.
us, we have to digest your food.
Hey, he's got to digest ours too. Hey, well, Helen, you know I don't eat carbs. How will I do? God damn
You
it.
know, I think it's real fun that we all have our own little gimmicks. You like Jesus. You don't know how to use condoms. I lost my hands. You're a pervert. Oh, wait. You know, it would have been real swell having me put these contacts in my eyes every day.
Yo, Brandon, you see how damaged the pieces of you are, dog? You represented by a goblin, a drag queen, a discount Dora, Ezra Miller, a sex toy, and another goblin, dog. Man, you better thank God you got at least one good character saved in this channel, dog.
Hey, don't bring God into
Bitch,
this.
shut the fuck up. You walking around kids with that dick tip haircut, you should be ashamed, fool.
We're here to roast the pig named Brandon Roger, more like Brandummy Loser.
good
Did
one.
Helen write your jokes?
Nobody wrote my jokes.
It was the Hurricane Tortilla kid from Vine. Remember him? He wrote all my jokes for the evening. What was I thinking?
I'll bet you
Brandon eats more tortillas than most people.
What? Why don't you have a seat, Sam?
I'm already one step ahead of you. I think you're very brave, Sam.
Oh, shut up, Brandon. You couldn't write a brave character to save your aim. It's me and that thuggish Hispaniac, the only two tough guys you created.
Ah, fuck off. I'd like to see you sit on a pineapple. Which way? Right side up. You're crazy.
All right, time to pop that Advil, everyone, because our next speaker's voice has a decibel range that could fuck up a NASA probe.
Hey, you're going to need an Advil for when I take a knife and start connecting all the holes in your body.
You don't got no knife. They patted everyone down on the way in.
Didn't pat the baby. Oh, shit. Now, Brandon, sweetheart. I am not your son. I know that. Because if you were, you'd be in a clinic trash can in the 80s.
Oh,
He's ugly. Oh, I am at church. I mean, the worst thing about you playing us is that we got to have your teeth.
Anyone who wants that mouth on their is either blind or broke.
But I will say you are an inspiration. You inspired Filthy Frank to choose a different career path. Now put your hands together for this green gum shot. It's America's horniest terror.
Yeah, you know who I am, TJ Maxx. Look, Brandon, I made a list of all the creators who make better content than you.
Hey,
A fax machine, a McDonald's ice cream machine, a pimple, a crematorium, an oil spill, most toddlers, and Anthony Padilla.
okay, that one was below the belt.
You know, I've seen what's below your belt, and trust me, I didn't sink no battleship.
That's right. You saw the life raft with boards.
You two need to go to dungeon.
You've been a shit-covered crowd. I hope you all die in your sleep. Tonight was a fucking waste of lipstick.
I'd like to say a few words if that's all right. No,
Yeah,
please,
sure.
why
Why
don't
don't you say
go ahead.
something?
Now, I know each of you has gotten me to where I am today. I wouldn't be here without any of you. But you will always remember who is in control.
Wait, what's happening? God damn it, he made us learn blocking. We didn't give our consent for this choreography.
You didn't consent to singing either.
Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button.
This is nuts.
Yeah, it's like a fever dream.
it's a yeah.
It's like if Sesame Street was on cocaine.
And remember,
Right?
no one can
Yeah, that's what it's like.
more
It's
than
like, yeah.
pieces of yourself.
But it's a unique notion though. It's interesting how that you can
Right, 'cause
especially
he is-
Yeah, some of his other ones actually contain him doing more physical comedy and stuff too. So
Oh, like the slapstick.
that one was
stuff?
like a little reunion one. I've never seen that one.
but
That was
it's
pretty good.
interesting, especially when you can poke fun at yourself, which is nice because it's bringing everybody,
Right. He's just
He's amazing.
and it's
So-
original, it's unique,
He's amazingly horrible.
Yeah.
So
Right. Yeah.
either he's insane
now
or
we're
he's a
analyzing it.
very, very talented actor genius.
I think it's just a
I
good
think it's the
actor.
first.
Or a borderline of both.
No,
I guess
seriously
that's up for
think it's the first.
interpretation.
Insanity, though, it makes the best people.
I
like
personally know him through watching his videos, and yeah, I think it's the first one.
Yeah, I
But
mean
you
the
kinda-
joke. What I mean by the jokes are genius. Okay.
Yeah.
He's broke.
Yeah.
He's great.
But like the amount of time I guess it takes to do stuff like that.
Oh yeah, to put it together.
It's a lot, yeah.
Ooh, paying attention to detail.
It's a huge, that's a huge production.
So that's what I say. He may be kind of insane and a pretty talented actor at the same time, or both. So.
But if it works out, I mean that's where you want uniqueness. There, you got to break away from the norms.
But some of the best people were insane. Like Einstein was insane. Edgar Allan Poe was insane. I think Leonardo da Vinci was insane. So most of the best artists and writers were pretty nuts. I think Stephen King is a little messed up in the head, obviously, because of the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Obviously,
you know what it is?
enough.
You know what it is, though, with like Stephen King and all these guys that write about killing people. What keeps them from killing people in real life is writing about it and making movies. Like they're like harnessing it into art. Because if they went out there and did that, they'd just go to jail. He's killed so many
they should
people.
just sign up for the army. I mean, that's a legal way you can get away.
That's how he could have done it.
Oh no, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that.
Because in the army they shoot back. That's the problem.
Yeah, the army they shoot back.
They just wanted to be serial killers. Yeah.
No, you can sign up to be a sniper.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
or
okay.
like,
The rest
or like a
of the
drone, or
world
be a
sees a wall.
writer, or
I
be a
see a
drone
window.
operator. There you go.
But to
Well,
become a sniper, that takes years of
Training.
practice and dedication and
Oh, yeah.
training.
Yeah.
Serial killers, they kind of just go off the whim.
They kind of just
Oh,
grab
that's
a
not
knife.
hard. Yeah.
And then over time, they get better and better.
That's
They're
because
like
it's been
self-made millionaires. They get good at it. Yeah.
That's because the urge has been suppressed for so long. But if you're working to become a sniper, you're gonna have an
best.
outlet.
You're gonna
True.
right.
No, the mission is now. My bad. But
No.
yeah, that was good though.
I think
sometimes inspires art though. The art.
Yeah,
of
well, I was gonna say, and in entertainment, you sometimes you look at anybody who's whatever entertainment field you do, you got to have some quirkiness, some kind of something that separates you, something to, garnish the masses, get people's attention, and sometimes it might seem ridiculous, but some people eat that stuff up. So
I eat it up. Every time I see him, I probably got a top 10 badge on Facebook or something. Like,
yeah,
I love his videos. When he did that one about Rita Repulsa, first of all, to know me is to know that that's the HBIC. And he nailed it. He nailed it.
Yeah, I want to see him doing Rita Repulsa because Rita Repulsa is funny as it is.
Yeah.
Like him doing her must be the funniest thing on the planet. Like that just sounds funny.
Oh my God, y'all! I seen this skit. It was called The Real Housewives of Angel Grove, and it was Rita Repulsa, Diva Tox, and like two more villains.
I think I saw that one.
It was
yeah.
lit.
And again, it takes skill to get that because it's taking an original classic, but it's putting a twist on it that makes it more, the entertainment value is still good for that. So that's what you kind of want. You don't want something super repetitive, something that's going to stand out.
I also don't want to get sued. Okay.
Well, yeah, okay.
That would be good.
That's a whole separate, but yes, that's a real possibility. That's,
Yeah.
Especially today.
Today. Well, that's like I always wondered about like Weird Al. Weird Al Yankovic does all those satire songs. I'm like, how do you not get sued by the original art? It must take a lot to get permission to use those songs because, again, especially with music, a lot of times copyright infringement.
Well, with parodies, as long as you replay the notes of the beat and you rewrite the lyrics, you're allowed to technically use that.
Well, and it's funny
I
because
think he may be acting within like a technicality, like how you can slow a song down so many beats and still use it.
Yeah, well, he's getting the loopholes. Yeah,
but he did say for some of the hot artists like Madonna and stuff, he did get permission, like with like a surgeon was up, trying to make sure she's okay, that he's not going to offend.
I think he did that more out of respect, though.
Michael Jackson too. I think he did that for Michael.
Yeah.
No, I did. I think what happened with Michael Jackson is that what's his name? Weird Al just made a song, and Michael Jackson wanted to make that into a song. It was like
maybe
he liked it so much. Yeah, I think it was Eat It. He made Eat It, and then he said, "Can I make that into Beat It?" He's like, "Sure, I'll be all right."
Yeah.
So Michael
that song. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's so crazy about that. I'm like, what? When I found out, I thought that Beat It was first. But
yeah, that's right. That song, I remember that story. Yeah, that's right. That is true.
I'm like, whoa.
It's nice when it works that way, though. It should be, free flowing. But again, in this day and age, everything is about money and about,
But hey, that speaks to the level of talent that Weird Al was on.
Exactly.
That he could inspire, the greatest pop artists of history.
Exactly. That's pretty crazy.
That's how it should be.
And still to this day, no one has replaced Michael. I mean, they say Chris Brown is up there, but
no, Michael Jackson was a unique talent. No, it's hard to touch
Michael
something
had
like
everyone.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, they just try to. There's people that try to sound like him, but that's all you get. It's kind of like glimpses
I will say
but...
this. I do think Chris Brown had the potential to be, but I think that the reason that he isn't, because raw talent, I believe he's definitely one of those ones in our generation that could compete. But I think he wasn't reared or managed in the right way.
Yeah.
To where he could have appealed to audiences.
He didn't have a Quincy Jones.
Yeah, no, exactly. And a lot of personal things outside of that affected his reputation too. So I think that didn't help
I
either.
think that's part of the rearing.
Yeah.
You don't think
Yo,
that
what if
during Michael Jackson's time is learning to be a professional, that there was some level of decorum that had to be learned in your private affairs, and then not letting
Oh
it
yeah,
spill
because he
over?
was, since he was a kid, since the Jackson 5, like he grew up in show business, so he had all that for years and years.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't think Chris Brown necessarily received that
same level of no.
Okay, check this out. What if someone saw that coming and threw a monkey wrench in his machinery?
Maybe,
and they caused this Rihanna thing to happen.
It could happen. That could, you never know nowadays.
Because now he has a stain on his, career forever.
Yeah.
He can't write a hit song today that's going to make people forget.
Exactly. See, and I think in the same context, not to throw this out, but I was thinking about this since you keep hearing about, like, same thing like with P. Diddy now going forward. Even if he survives the backlash, I don't think there's much coming back from that. I think there's a lot of damage that's going to be stuck to him. So,
he could save 100 kids from a burning building, and people will still say, "Well, you still beat up Rihanna."
Yeah.
You can never get redemption from.
It's like you can never get redemption. Yeah,
not from humans. From God, it's a different story.
Only from God. Only God has. Yeah.
Humans are not going to forget.
We're too judgmental. So yeah.
Had it been anyone else, I don't think we would even be having.
Well, I would forgive them if they.
Okay. Check this out. So that actor who just shot another actress.
Who was this?
What's his name?
Holy crap!
He's been around for a while. And
Alec Baldwin.
Oh, it wasn't an actor. It was a soundstage. The camera.
That was a prop gun.
Right.
Yeah, but it was. There was in the chamber, and there was rounds in the. It actually killed her. She was what was it, the microphone, the boom stand operator?
Why did they use real guns? They shouldn't be using real guns.
Would you ever see Alec Baldwin in a blockbuster? Probably not.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. I definitely think so.
What is crackhead number 2?
No, I just don't think a lot of people even know about that of Alec Baldwin.
Let me say this.
Okay, you may be right. You may be right.
That's why I'm
like a C-list celebrity.
No, he's pretty big, but the thing with Chris Brown is that he hit Rihanna, and Rihanna is like a superstar. She's billionaire status, fashion icon. That's what I mean. Like, had it been anyone else, if he'd have hit Keisha Cole, and no offense to Keisha Cole, but I don't think we would be talking about it. He was still being able to have a career, thrive, etc. But he hit Rihanna, and Rihanna is like,
well, yeah, that it's like,
what do they call her? R&B princess or something like that?
Yeah, something.
I mean?
The queen of R&B or something like
No, she wasn't queen. She was like princess of something.
Yeah. Well, and the thing
was Queen B.
Queen B, right. See, the thing with Alec Baldwin is, just to clarify, that was, I don't blame him as much as I blame the props department, because that was a situation where, I mean, he's the figurehead because obviously he's the actor that pulled the trigger, but he was handed a gun that wasn't vetted properly, and really the blame should be on the crew hand there, because they handle the weapons. They should know before they give it to him. Say, oh yeah,
Aren't they supposed to use guns that only shoot blanks?
Well, that was the problem. There was it was almost like you remember the Brandon Lee back with the Crow situation, where it was a blank bullet, but the problem was there was real gunpowder in the trigger, so the bullet was traveling at full speed as a real bullet. So even though there was no powder in the bullet, it penetrated at full speed, which is what killed him. So
the projectile.
The projectile, right. So the bullet was empty, but there was residue in the barrel, so it traveled at the speed of a real bullet, which still killed him. So, and again, it was mishandled because the prop department didn't clean the gun properly. So
blanks are still dangerous, is what you're saying.
They can be, yes, if there's still gunpowder involved. Yep.
Oh crap! They should just use cap guns.
You could drop anything in the barrel that'll fit, and it'll fly.
Yep. Yeah. And if there's gunpowder in the barrel, it's going to charge it enough. It's going to carry it the propelling speed of a real bullet.
Yep. You can carve a bullet and put it in there.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Do the same thing.
Yep. And that's where
like little stones and coins inside of them at one point.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they used to do with the muskets back in the day. They just put whatever in there and just blast.
And that's why, like, to be a props person on a movie set, I feel like there's a lot of risk there because you are literally your rear end's on the line if you make a mistake because you're supposed to be the one handling these props, and if it's not,
they should test the props before they do the scene.
Exactly.
Test it out, make sure it's not really shooting stuff out of it.
Yep. And that's a big problem. They don't do that. That's
Wow. So Hollywood is dangerous, and we didn't even know. We thought it was all fake. It's just like wrestling, right? It's fake until you get thrown off the top rope, and you still feel it though.
Well, here's the thing with wrestling. I always say this because I used to believe this younger. Wrestling's not choreography involved, but the accidents are real. Like I think about the cage match.
There's still injuries.
Right. Like you remember the cage match, Undertaker, Mankind, when he throws him off the top of the cage and he hits the announcer's table. He lost 2 teeth and cracked like 3 ribs from that.
Yeah, you can't fake that.
No.
If you're coming from that high, you can't be like, what's wrestling? It's scripted. It's right.
Yeah.
It's some realism to it, especially stuff.
And I remember I was watching an interview that he did, and he said, Mankind said, when I was laying there, I hit that table. I was actually out for a minute or two. Like I took that fall. And he goes, I'm spitting out my teeth. And I went to the hospital like right after, and I got all these cracked ribs. He's like, I had serious damage from that throw off that cage. Damn. So it does happen.
Yeah, it's not as fake as people think. Because you still feel that impact, and you can't.
Oh yeah.
People just think, they can take it. Yeah, they could take it, but from that
the body only. Yeah, so much. I mean, think about it. And then years and years of all these different gimmicks, and it's like any athlete, it wears on the body after a while. So and you get older.
When I look at wrestling, it's like they're live action stars, like a live action movie, and then like stuntmen. Because some of those things are crazy stunts, like the stuff they do, going through tables and stuff, or getting hit with chairs. There's still some impact there.
Oh yeah, and I think it was it The Rock? I think it was The Rock when he said he started doing more acting. He said, my career I was fortunate enough to be seriously injured in my wrestling career, but I could have been. With all the matches that he did, he said, I could have had serious injuries. So I went through and unscathed for the most part. But some of these guys and some of these injuries they're permanent. They have serious, repercussions from, hitting the turnbuckles wrong, falling off ladders to the tables, to the chairs, to baseball bats, all these, things over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it is pretty crazy. Like I always tell people, it's still crazy. Some of it is real when they're getting hit with stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
you could hear those chairs.
Yeah. Who was I think it was Adam Copeland, Edge. He said, all those years when what was the one match? It was like a free for all match, and he goes, you kept seeing me get hit with the steel chair. He goes, I was getting like racked in the head from constantly getting bashed with these steel chairs. He said when you see me get up, he's like, that wasn't fake. I'm sitting there going, man, I got hit so many times in the head. Like, boy,
Yeah, I think it's against the rule now to hit directly in the head. You
can't. They changed it. Yeah, this is going back to the Attitude Era. Back in the day,
anything went. It was so hardcore.
See, that's the thing I don't like about wrestling now. No offense to those that do it, but it's like it has changed since that time. It has kind of it's more regulated where it's not raw, unfiltered.
They softened up a bit, like NFL.
Yep. Exactly. Yep, exactly.
The NBA.
Yep. And I mean, again, I get the politics of it, but at the same time, it takes away from the entertainment value because what's entertaining about it then?
You want to see people get hit in the head.
The politics of it, y'all just literally said they were killing each other up and giving each other long injuries. You can't.
All right, I mean, we just gonna come out and say it, man. We just want to see, the real stuff, like back in Rome.
You know what we're paying for, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, we're paying $7 a month for Peacock.
Exactly.
$8 for Netflix. We want
it's history repeating itself. We just want to see the raw, the real.
Think of it this way: like when you watch
people
hockey,
say, "Hey, have mercy on these fighters."
Yeah, no, it's like watching.
All of a sudden, you're acting again.
Exactly. It's like when you watch hockey, you don't watch for the game, you watch for the fights.
Yes, the fights are badass.
You go to NASCAR races for the crashes.
Yep.
I don't watch NASCAR races.
We like action.
I don't either, but I know that's what they do.
This is why I don't watch golf. I don't watch tennis.
Golf has no action, has no impact.
No.
Golf makes me feel like the cable off.
No, I'm just saying every great story has some kind of pain and conflict.
And that's the whole selling part.
That's why
That's the
wrestling
whole
has
gimmick.
The whole selling part. Because
why
people
wrestling
are going
has-
through pain and conflict. They can
Yep.
relate. As long as it's
Yep.
not happening to them.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I don't want to be in the ring taking those hits. I'm like, hell no.
It's like the olden days watching the gladiator fights in the arena. That's what you
Right,
go to
you want
see.
to watch
you know?
it, but you don't want to be in it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, you do. You want to be in it as long as you're going to win. If you
Okay.
can't-
Well, it's like watching I remember watching these matches. Like, anybody in the audience want to participate? Nobody says anything. Like, no, we're good. No thanks. You know.
All right. Guess what I watch in my spare time? Just
Okay.
back to back.
The Real Housewives of New Jersey.
No.
Oh my God. Is Teresa Giudice on the seasons you watch?
The Blacklist?
No. I watch ghetto fights, ghetto brawl.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right. That's
Crackheads
okay.
go at it, you know, because I don't get in those type of situations.
Sure.
So, you know, I'd be like, man, what would I do if I was in that situation? Yeah, you know. So I watch it instead of going to
so bad.
like the club and punching the biggest guy I see.
Yeah. Oh, I'd rather watch it than punch.
Yeah, I'd rather
take
watch
the
it
safe
than-
approach. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. If you're not feeling adventurous, okay, but you know.
Especially if I don't know Kung Fu like Sam Crow, I'm not trying to punch anyone.
Right. Yeah. I'm not trying to.
If I know Kung Fu, I might be a little more confident. I might be like, yeah, I think I could take
Yeah, I used to know Kung Fu when I was younger.
Well, here's the thing. Think of it this way. If you're talking about a bar brawl, just remember, most cases, 9 out of 10, the person that's drunk is not going to have their full wit, so you might have a chance still. You know, if they're like 3 or 4 or 5 drinks in and they start to lose all impediment there, there is a chance. So they don't tell you that, but there is some real. Now, if you go up to a guy and insult his mother or his girlfriend and punch him and he's not drunk, then you got a problem. Can't be safe.
That's not.
Well, what I'm worried about is, you know, some wolves don't travel alone.
Well, that's the other thing.
That's another thing. They got their dudes there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the cardinal rule.
Bigger. Yeah.
You got to start the bar brawl in the bar. If they want to take it outside, and especially in the back alley, you say no because you know they got help out there. So you definitely don't do that. So that's just the cardinal.
It's 2025. It goes down on the spot. There's no
pretty much. Yeah.
Outside.
You got to start it in the bar. They tell you not to do that, but your safe bet is to start it in the bar.
That's why you got to carry an emergency vial of anthrax in case somebody gets
biochemical warfare. Okay.
He's like emergency.
Just a tiny bit, just for protection. You
know what I do? I carry an envelope of letters that have SARS on it, and I give. Here's an envelope. It's tainted. There you go. Touch it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day.
Because mace is not enough.
No, it's not real. It's pepper spray. That doesn't do anything really. If it's not real mace,
what if it just makes people sneeze, right, or something?
Yeah,
like
it's not even. It's like taking peppers or taking like the right, the pepper, the seasoning.
Only cops have the real mace.
Yeah. If you go to police store, you can buy heavy duty. That's the real grade stuff. That will cause problems.
They'll sell it to you.
Yeah, they will. And what you do is what you do is what you should do. I'm going to start testing this for me. I'm going to start macing myself. You want to get used to it in case you spray it because it goes everywhere. So
if there's wind,
you want to build up a tolerance to it, so it's not affecting you.
Know the type of man that's got tolerance to pepper spray.
What's that?
You know the type of man that's got a tolerance to pepper spray.
Tell me.
They usually have to let people know when they move in the neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah, they've been pepper sprayed so many times.
Oh.
Why would you have an immunity?
Well,
why would you have an immunity to pepper spray? Because you have the Johnny Bravo complex and you've been pepper sprayed a bunch.
You know what? I have a proposal then.
Complex. That's a good one.
So, okay, for the next challenge, we're going to do the mace challenge. We'll see who survives that one.
Oh, I'm not trying to do mace. I'll do pepper spray, but not mace.
I'm doing neither one. I'm
trying to not die on camera.
Well, you have to sign a waiver first. So, I mean,
Oh, I bet you have to sign a waiver.
You won't get that signature.
Right. No thanks. I'm okay.
It's like those extreme haunted houses where they really torture people, like McCamey Manor.
Yeah.
Sign a waiver. Yeah.
That would be awesome. We should do that. Go to like one of those, that'd be great.
They do that? They have torture homes or houses?
I do it. Yeah, I'll do it.
Wow.
I I would go to those extreme haunted houses, but if I could fight back, but they say you can't fight back. So where's the fun in that? No, let's go extreme, but I'll.
Oh yeah, you want the horror movie experience, but you got to have at least some fight back. It can't be like in
a real situation, I'd be fighting back. It'd be like,
I might die, but I'm gonna fight for it. At least I'll give it a fighting chance. So yeah,
I heard about one where if you win, you get a great deal of money.
Yeah,
but they also
you have to survive. Yeah,
tattoo you.
Yeah, they do.
You at a random spot of their picking.
Yep.
And somebody ran into an issue where they wanted them to shave their head so they could do the tattoo. And if you want some real terror to unfold, come at me with some clippers talking about a tattoo to your honey house.
I do it.
That's where the real terror. There's not a waiver for what's about to unfold here.
Exactly.
You haven't lived if you haven't tried it at least once. So
what? To try to cut my hair?
Well, I mean, I've seen photos. Listen, you have a very nice set of hair, and I've seen photos when you were younger. It was nice then too, but it was different, obviously. So I can understand that.
No, you're just not gonna violate me as a person.
Well, there's that. That's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm saying. They can't expect people to not fight back. Like I'd be going, I'd be like, I'll sign that, but there's going to be a clause where I get to fight back, and then then I do that extreme haunted house experience.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, because where's the fun in that?
Yeah, because I want to knock some people out too. Like in Resident Evil, you didn't just run away from the zombies; you shot them.
Yeah, no.
So that's not a real horror. They say, it's a real horror.
You shot them. You want to shoot the prop actors?
No, I don't want to shoot them, but I'm just saying that you fought back in the video game, so you're gonna fight back. And I want to fight with my hands, though. Yeah.
What you do is, they blindfold you, they drop you somewhere, you don't know where everybody is, but you have some weapons, or you can at least acquire them and be like, okay, you got to survive in here. You don't know what's coming at you, but make it realistic. Make it
like
at least.
Fortnite.
Yeah, essentially.
Like Fortnite. Yeah.
What if they're all bodybuilders, though?
That would suck.
What? Now, see, that's stacking the deck. That's not a fair. You got to have some realism. Well, I don't know.
Cards.
Yeah. Although, again, if you signed the waiver and you didn't read the fine print, I suppose that could be a loophole there.
Listen, muscles don't thicken skin.
That's right.
Yeah.
I want you to think about that, and always remember that muscles don't thicken skin.
That's true.
Even if it's a guy that's super muscular, you just got to kick him in the balls, and I mean, you got him. Like, he's down.
Or
now you're thinking.
Right. It doesn't matter how strong you are. I learned that from wrestling. Like, no matter how big the other guy goes, once he hits him in the balls, he's down. Like,
see that old adage: the bigger they are, the harder they do fall. That is true. So
you can stab them in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah,
that would work too.
Yeah,
that or the balls works.
I might cry a little first, but yeah, all right.
What, to stab someone in the neck?
No, just to beg him to give me a chance before he pounds me in the face. So
Listen. In those situations, I'm gonna tell you something. You gonna always get at least one lick in on me. You know what's crazy? Why? Because I have, in the court of law, I have to be just for the actions I
justify it. Yeah. Yep.
It's self-defense.
I'm gonna always eat that first one. I'm gonna always eat that first one.
Right, and then they're gonna eat a bunch of them.
The day-old golden advice that you just should take.
Yep.
You can't control how a person responds.
True.
So legally, if you eat the first
you can't control that.
You can defend yourself after that.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta take the first punch. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, if you got a glass jaw, don't take that advice.
Yeah.
And then you gotta make sure that they're not running facing away from you, because I didn't watch enough Judge Judy to know that if they going away from you, then you gotta
let them go. You gotta
let them go. So make sure they facing towards you.
Oh, so they have to punch you and then keep coming at you. And
if you catch them on the porch, make sure that when you catch them, that they fall into the house.
Now
that's some good legal advice.
The only way it doesn't work though is if they don't throw a first punch. If they pull a knife or a gun out first, then that changes the dynamics a little bit, because I'm not taking a stab or a shot first.
Yeah.
So.
Once they pull a weapon, pretty much you can defend. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's raising the bar. You have to. Yeah, at that point. So.
Which brings me to my next point. Always keep a spare knife that no one knows about.
So do I.
Because you
That
never
sounds
know
that's a good idea.
when you may mess somebody up and they don't have a weapon on them. You might have to leave that weapon. You may have to sacrifice that weapon for the sake of the story.
Yep. You know what I carry though, which people don't
You
think
understand
about.
what I'm saying?
Yo, wow.
You know what
Yeah.
you know what
Good
I
to know.
carry though? I carry a set of sticks with me. I carry my drumsticks with me because they will do damage and they're legal because they're not really a weapon. So but
Oh, that's smart.
if I hit somebody with them, they can break bones because that's solid oak coming in too. So
And we hanging out and somebody run up on us and you pull out drumsticks, you got two people that's finna beat you up.
yeah.
Yeah. If we hanging out and somebody run up on us, talking about fight, and you pull out drumsticks, you got two people finna fight you.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that sounds like a Jackie Chan movie.
Let me hit you with them and you'll see how it feels. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna hit me with a drumstick, it's gonna hurt. But you know what it's not gonna do? It's not gonna impair me, immobilize, it's gonna irritate me beyond belief.
Depends on where you hit the person. Depends on where you hit the person.
I'm gonna become dangerous. That's like a billy club.
Yeah, but if I break your nose and you're choking on your own blood,
I mean, if you can do that with a pair of wooden sticks, but if you could do that, you wouldn't probably need the wooden sticks to do that.
True, I could throw a punch that's that easily too, but I haven't had to test that theory yet.
Excessive.
But legal to carry, and if hit, it's the same thing. It's physics. You hit the right spot.
I could carry around drumsticks, and if someone jumps me, I could use them legally.
Yep.
It's not considered a weapon.
Yep.
You know
That's
what else
awesome.
is
So
legal to carry around? Shoestrings. You could choke them, not leave a print. But that's not something we
Still works.
It's not something you do.
There is self-defense rope. I carry that too with me. Actually, it's sort of like a shoestring, but it's a little bit thinner. It's like piano wire, but it's a little bit different.
What about whips? Are whips considered weapons or no?
Depends on how long. It's like the knife roll. If it's shorter than 3-inch blade, depends on how long they are, what they're made from. Sometimes depending on the state law too. So
yeah, it depends on the color of the person you hit with that whip.
Aren't some
it's gonna go
states,
real left, real fast.
Because aren't like some states open carry? And
some,
and some you got to get a license to do anything.
Yep.
To even have it in your house, and some you can just go buy it and walk around with it.
Yep. There's some states you can open carry. Some are you have to carry concealed. Some states you can't carry at all. So
most states you can, but it's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
And a lot of like classes and hassle, but you can carry.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Best states is Florida. You can walk around with the gun in your hand walking down the street.
So you're saying it's like GTA?
So essentially, yeah, it can be.
That's great. So I just be walking around with my pistol, like a video game, like.
Yeah, you essentially. Because Florida's, if you go to Florida, go to the Ghetto in Florida, you could pretty much play GTA live right there.
So the cops wouldn't care. The cops would be like, "Oh, sir, yeah, how are you? Nice gun you got there."
I forget. Yeah, there's a movie. I forget what movie it was. Well, it became a running gag. I can't remember the name of the movie, but the theme is like, "Welcome to Florida." When you come to Florida, like the visitor center,
go get a gun. Go get a gun.
They get you a free gun when you visit the state. Here's like an orange and a free gun. So like, oh, okay.
That's nuts. So you could just carry a gun around.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, open carry. Yeah.
So it's like back in the Wild West, like
pretty much. Yeah.
Damn, bro, it's like Cowboy City out there.
Yep.
But I guess people would have more respect for each other because if everyone's carrying, they're just
if you know the area, like, and Floridians know people, like if you're from the area. Now, if you're out of state, you know, obviously, like if we all visited there, we're not from there. That might, be a little bit different. But if you're local and you know your neighborhood, usually people are pretty chill. It's almost like you go out the door, walking the dog, like, oh hey Roger, you got your gun? Hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's $2 shotgun, 2 shells. Shooting the raccoons and the rabbits in the garden and occasional intruders, blowing a hole through the who shot the hole through your roof? Well, Mama got the shotgun. She got angry. We had an argument. It's all good.
More like they shooting the alligators that ended up in their backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess all the rappers would go to Florida to make their videos because they could just straight up have the guns out.
See, you wonder why they're doing. You notice the trend
That's
now.
why
Some
they're
of them
all
are doing.
going there. Yeah, that's why all the streamers are in Florida. They can just walk around with the gun. And
Exactly. Yeah. See that? See, they don't tell you that. When you know that, it becomes so much more appealing.
You know that. You know where to go make your video now. Where you're not
Yeah.
You know?
Where do you think all the gamers are now? All the GTA lovers. Where do you think they are?
Yeah, gamers, streamers. Oh, that's why they're in Florida. Now it makes sense.
Yeah. See.
I knew something was going on. That's why Kais is over there. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know if he carries. He probably does though. Like, gotta have your protection,
Well, I found it funny too, because Florida actually, when back during, was it not before COVID, they actually have a zombie apocalypse plan in place too. So you can have a gun in case the apocalypse breaks out. So
that's why they have the guns.
Yep. Yep.
Damn, that makes sense.
Florida must know something.
See, that's the thing. I thought it was fake till I read it, and I'm like, the governor of Florida actually
he wrote a document. Yeah.
There's a hazard, like that you hit the panic button, like to break the glass. Like if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, we're prepared. So
that's why everyone has their gun.
Yep.
So if Resident Evil goes down, you can shoot back.
So yeah, see, it's like the gaming state. It's the gamer's paradise right there.
Right. It's like GTA, it's Resident Evil.
You could live your fantasies there. Yep.
Wow.
You could play Red Dead Redemption if you do it right in the boonies there in the Badlands.
Right.
So it's like real live VR.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, just if you remember, if you do get shot, the bolt that is real blood. It's not fake. So yeah.
Yeah, there's no coming back if you die in the game.
Yeah, no, there's one life. That's it. So
I get why a lot of streamers are there and why they're strapped, because they can be. Like this one streamer said, if anyone breaks into my server, I'm ready. But like, yeah, I get it now. It's because there's like the law's more lenient.
Yeah.
I have to have a permit and then another like paper for this. And
now I think the only restrictions are the major cities like Jacksonville and Miami. Obviously, are bigger suburbs, so there's laws there. But if you live like in the boony areas or the countryside, that there's no. Yep.
I would live
North
there.
Florida.
Pretty much, yeah. Even really southern Florida, towards like the peninsula. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
there. You go.
Right. You obviously can't be walking around with a shotgun in the tourist.
They're city limits, yeah, in the big cities.
Right, because people are going to get freaked out. All the tourism.
Right.
You can't be around Disneyland with a gun. They're not.
Oh yeah, no, that's
yeah. They're like that's unfamily friendly.
That's right. Yeah.
The guy that was thrown out one time because he forgot he had it on him, and they went through check. They're like, "Yeah, you can't have that here. Sorry, but
he had it on him. He's like, I forgot it. I forgot
because I'm so used to carry. He's like a guy was in Florida for years. He's like, I've been carrying. It's like I'm wearing my pair of shoes. Like I just forgot it was there. So.
That's crazy.
But it happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got to move along so we can get to game time. So
cool.
It is week 22 of business tips and quotes from thought leaders and CEOs and things of that nature.
These have been really good.
Quote is, I never dreamed about success. I worked for it, by Estee Lauder.
Yep.
It's pretty straight to the point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no use of sitting around dreaming about something. You gotta get to work, put in some action, It's like dreams are like flowers. You plant the seed, you water it, you care for it until it turns to a bud.
Yep.
And then you put it all over again until it turns into a stem, from a stem to a flower, until it blooms. And hopefully you get seeds and can plant more.
Yep. There you go.
Just can't plant it and walk away.
Nope. Doesn't work that way.
Bird eat it.
Yeah, that's a very good quote.
Set it and forget it.
What do you think about that, SK?
I get what they're trying to say, but it's also like to say I just worked for it. Sometimes the dream is the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the dream is how you are able to materialize the actual concept. How you're able to start seeing it come together. Sometimes the dream is where you're able to put yourself directly in the situation to see if it's for you, and if it is for you, based off of where you are in that moment to where you want to be, how much more you have to complete.
Right.
So I guess kudos to them that they were able to just, Estee Lauder was able to just go for it. You know what I mean? But for some people, they have to see that success in order for them to be for this inspiration to ignite for them to actually go towards obtaining that success.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I guess it's one of those things where it's like different strokes for different folks because some you were able to just work for your success. Some people have to dream, take that sheet of paper, ball it up, throw it away, try another sheet, So good for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. And Sam Crow, what do you think?
So I can see where SK, I mirror some, but the key phrase there is dream of success, not just the dream in general. Kind of like what Martin Luther King said, I have a dream. And without the work behind it, it probably wouldn't have come to fruition. But the dream is the blueprint. I think the crucial part, though, is this serves two purposes where when you start something, and I use this as an example just because we've had a lot of these conversations, and when myself and Big Hoss entered the podcasting world, our dream was we wanted to do something fun. We wanted to do something that, we could be ourselves. We could be goofy. We never measured the success part of it. We said, you know what? We want to have fun with this. Would we like to see growth from it? And when you're in entertainment, of course you do. But, we always kind of said, even if we don't have 100,000 or 1 million likes or followers, if it's just a few people that really enjoy some of the stuff that we do there, that's great. And we put the work in. We worked hard. I mean, shows after shows, countless hours spent, some nights where, as I said, I still remember the one weekend we turned out, it was such a burnout weekend. We turned out 5 shows. That was probably the biggest weekend that we had. But again, did it have a successful hit? Seemed to be entertainment value was there, but it was never about, being rich and famous there. And I said, if it happens, great. Yeah. But the goal was to have fun with this, to have an outlet away from life, because there's so much stuff in life. We wanted to kind of get away from that. Mm-hmm. And our biggest selling point was, like we said, we are entertaining people, but we are, we're not A-list type celebrity types. We're just normal people. And, we're trying to share experiences. We want to relate to our audience. Like if we talk, we're not unapproachable. We don't want to have this, they're these big, Hollywood celebs where you can't be touched, can't be approached. We tell people you interact with us. If we had the chats where people are talking with us, we're talking right back to you. So, we kept it real. But I think, it's a good thing. And the hard work itself, I think, lastly, too, could be a success, because if you know that you put your best efforts into it, I think that's really a testament to, like some of these brands. I mean, nothing against Estee Lauder went big. I mean, maybe they put the work in. I mean, Steve Jobs for Apple, Bill Gates, you could go on and on. But yeah, I think the idea is having the dream is the blueprint, as SK said, which is true. I think you have to realize, why are we investing? Why are we doing it? If success is at the forefront of your mindset, without doing the work, you are going to fail 10 times out of 10, because you can manifest it, you can wish it, you can dream it, but if there's no work behind it, nothing's ever going to happen. So if that's the sole purpose, then, that's not the case. But I think it's got to be a combination of the dream and the work. It's got to be two-folded. So if you have a nice balance of both, I think anything's possible. Sky can still be the limit. It all depends on you, what you put into it, what you're trying to accomplish, and just having realistic goals, like setting expectations, knowing what you're shooting for. I think that's a whole part of that process too. But that's a good quote. I do believe that work is a huge part of that. So I do agree with that.
Cool deal. Cool deal. What do you think, Poegosi?
What is the question one more time?
Well, it's not really a question. It's a quote.
It's the quote.
And it says, I never dreamed about success. I worked for it. And it's a quote by Estee Lauder. cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So let me play my scary soundboard.
Let there be music from regions beyond.
Okay.
He's going to the dark arts for this answer.
Well, no, I had my little soundboard ready, so I'm trying new stuff.
No, I like it.
Nobody was waiting for that. See, you got to do crazy stuff.
No, I was.
So
my hair raised a little bit.
I like it. That was the plan. So success, yeah, you gotta dream it and then you gotta do it. Like what Sam Crow was saying about streaming. I don't know if I really podcast, but a game stream. And I remember when I started, I just said, okay, I want to monetize my pages, I want to monetize my YouTube, whatever. I want to make a lot of money. And I still want to do that, but I'm seeing now the journey towards monetizing the YouTube is fun because I'm gaining subscribers. People are in my chat. And then and I always thought, how he was saying he doesn't want to act like he's all big-headed. That's how I am too, because a lot of people that are in my chat, they talk to me and they tell me they consider me a friend. So right. I don't want to act like, oh, you're my fans, because right. if you're calling me your friend, that's yeah. So I was like, yeah. So it it's just people that watch and support, and we kind of bond over beer and old school video games and comic books and movies and toys and cartoons. So
it's real.
It's like you're finding the people that are into the stuff that you're into, and a lot of people do build a channel off of that. So
exactly.
Yeah, I think that's the key, really. When it comes to friends and a community.
Right, you're finding your community. You're finding the people that get you.
Different connections that feel safe,
right,
or feel comfortable, or feel like it just
what
makes
people really want.
The next level. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just finding people that
it can be different connections. Don't necessarily have to be something that, let's say, like Sam Crow is into, and I may not be into, but our dedication behind what we're into may match. And I was like, I like that concept, or I like that energy that he's putting out, and can feel like if he's doing it this way, I can do it this way too.
Yep.
Or combine the two powers and make it stronger.
Right, combine the power. That's the key.
Yeah. And I think that's what we all have done. Kind of lock arms.
I was gonna say, especially here, like we talked about, this show is unique because we have multiple personalities. We bring different approaches, but yet it reaches the masses because of the unique take that we each have. It kind of reaches everybody because we can all agree with some people, and I say, oh well, some might agree with me, some might agree with Dini sometimes, but at least we can show a nice round table of different viewpoints.
I pretty sure the crazy.
It's like the View. We're like the View.
I'm pretty sure
God.
Yeah, right.
I'm pretty sure the insane people would agree with me, but there is some of them out there. That's the beautiful part.
Yeah.
But those are the ones that you draw because they're drawn to the persona too, which speaks a lot to makes them feel comfortable.
Oh, they like the craziness. No, I don't know if anyone really gets my crazy.
Love it too. I think you got to go wilder, man. I'm loving where you're going with this whole.
You like it, right?
I do. Yeah.
I think I got to go more crazy. Yeah.
You do. You got to go. You're getting there though. It's getting closer.
Rob a blood bank or something.
Well, I have to drink the blood for it to be scary, but yes.
Well, hey, I'll do it with you if you want. We'll do drinking the plasma one show. Yeah. Hey.
Oh man, now we're getting
get all the way into character, man.
That's called dedication. We're committed to the fan base.
You gotta go to Johnny Depp level.
Let them eat
right. Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, you gotta go Johnny Depp level. Like you gotta live it. You gotta believe in it so much it just becomes your life.
Well, that's what they said about, you guys remember the Dark Knight series, right? The Christopher Nolan, like Heath Ledger, when he was the Joker, they said he came in character every day. He never broke character. Like when he was on set, he's the Joker. He's not, he doesn't break until the scene. Nope, until the movie scene, until the scenes were done. Because he said that's what, he goes, I go to bed at night, I'm in the makeup, I get up, I'm living this constant character. Yep. There you go.
It can drive you crazy, but it is dedication. Jack Nicholson said it started to drive him nuts too.
Yep.
Character's hard to do because you really got to get into almost.
You have to commit. Yep. And when you commit, you got it. I think even when they filmed Castaway, Tom Hanks even said, being on the island, it was.
That was nuts.
Because he was getting burned out because he's, the camera crew's there, but trying to live that isolated on the island, it drives you, you become that. It's like an everyday thing. And he wanted it to be realistic. And a lot of actors, they want it to be real. So they jump into it and they fully, like even, what's his name? Joaquin Phoenix, when he did the Joker, he lost all this weight randomly, like, and not in a healthy way, but he dropped like 70, 80 pounds to be skinny and,
so
they really
around, have the whole look.
Yep.
He was so skinny. That was just freaking nuts.
And it was like he lost like 70 pounds like in less than a week. Like it was like crash diet, like just like that. Yep.
Oh, what did you do?
What?
I wish I could do that.
Yeah. I see that's a level of commitment though. Like if you're really dedicated, that's hard because you're putting your body through that.
You can do it, Poegosi. All you gotta do is find your local street pharmacist.
Plenty of suppressants, cut out the calories, very, very little,
If you go to the right street pharmacist, you won't have to worry about your meals. You will not care for them.
Sounds like you know a guy.
What would you ask for a friend?
Yeah. Since you bring it up.
Yeah. What wouldn't you ask for?
Good one. There you go.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit there. You can't shortchange yourself. By the way, disclosure, we're not advocating much here. For anybody watching, this is pure entertainment. So
you guys have to admit you weren't ready for the soundboard, and that's only the first one. I'm making a bunch.
I wasn't. If I heard more, like my hair literally stood up. I'm like, ooh, this is.
I love that when I heard it in Disneyland. It's in the Haunted Mansion. But
that's where I knew it. That's where I knew it from.
Right. Okay. But it stayed in my head. And I always tell my friend I love when she says, "Let there be music from regions beyond." And that little creepy song is like, I was like, that's just perfect for some spooky stuff. So
well, remember the old adage, what makes a horror film? It's not the act, it's the music. That's what sets the tone.
Music,
hey, that's for anything that we watch.
Yeah.
You know?
The music
really notice, like the music change, and all of a sudden you're in a type of mood.
Think about like Jaws. Like all it was is ominous music, and something's going to happen. Now it didn't always happen right away, but something was building to, sort of pump the blood.
It's something like a scary movie. They show a shot of the kitchen, and there's nothing happening, but the music is creepy. You're already scared.
Yeah, same thing like Halloween, like the first one. You don't see Michael Myers almost the whole film, but because of the ambient music, like presence is there, so you just don't see him yet.
But you still know he's coming.
He's coming, yep. And it gets louder, and the tone picks up, and the tempo changes, and
Man, I wonder who sat down and thought about like the science behind it.
Right?
Most movies are the music is what makes it for the most part.
That's the
psychology, surrounding it. How music can either excite your mood or frighten your mood.
It gives you fear, yeah.
Or
I feel like
bring tears, there's a dramatic
I feel like there's
in the music.
Yeah, there's something up here, like the music triggers the central nerve, something up in the mind that just
I read memories and experience.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself in the shoes of this actor.
Yep.
And it's based really on the music.
Yeah.
Music.
I want to have
that is some deep psychology.
I know, right? Well, this is why I say, like, I want to walk out my door. I want my own theme music when I leave the house. Every time I'm walking out, just because.
You don't have music playing in your head when you leave the house?
Well, I do, but I want other people to hear it too. It's not as fun as
you want to play it loud so the neighbors.
Exactly.
So other people can hear it. Yeah.
Because then if I'm doing that in my head, I just look weird because no one else hears it. I'm the only one that hears it. So I want to make sure they know I'm not crazy.
Or you look cool.
Or that's true. Well, see, I try, but even with shades on, people tell me, "What the heck are you doing?" I'm like, I have music in my head, but we don't hear it. Oh, all right, well.
So what's your theme song, Sam?
I don't know. It's something like I like an upbeat tempo, something like it's a beautiful day and it's positive energy. Nice. Nothing too heavy, like just a nice little. It's almost like a sonnet in an early morning, like you see like the morning dew on the grass kind of a feel, but a little bit more of a crispness to it. So it's kind of like what was that song? Oh, you know what song I really like? I like the Rubber Band Man, and I kind of play that in my head a lot. I'm walking downtown, you know. He's the Rubber Band Man. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe like Sugar Ray music.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Sugar Ray music make it feels like sunshine on Sunday.
And I tell you what, I get it in my head. I start dancing in the street, and that's when people look at me like, "Do we need to call somebody?" Or I'm like, "No, I'm good." And it's
Why? Because you don't have headphones on or anything. They're just.
I'm just playing it in my head, and I'm just I know the songs, but people look at you like you're nuts. I mean, they're gonna do it anyway, so why not? But at least I have fun in my head. So
That's how people look at me when I'm at the gas station and I start singing "Mr. Ouija" by Bone Thugs. I just start singing it because I got my headphones, but I'm just singing it. So this lady's looking at me, and I'm like, "Yeah, but I was like, you like Bone Thugs and Harmony?" But I don't know if they know Bone Thugs and Harmony.
See, and that's the thing that bothers me. Like when you go to a gas station, I could be playing a song in my head. I'm bebopping. I'm the one who's crazy, but these guys roll with the windows down. They're blasting their stereo. Oh, but you have no problem with that just because you can hear
crazy,
it.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it exists in this realm.
Just because you can't hear it in my head. I hear it just fine, but I'm the crazy one.
There you go.
Okay, so Poegosi, what is your theme song?
Oh, I know where this could go.
That's usually what I hear and usually what I play anyways when I leave the house and it's in my headphones or in my car when I take walks, or when I go in the car. But the thing is, that's a song or what's another good song? What's a spooky song that's good?
I think you need that. You ever seen the movie that Ferrazzo? I think you need something like that.
Yeah, that movie or like the Addams Family music, something.
That's a good one too.
The Bela Lugosi Dracula music, Ed Wood.
Yeah.
From that era, that's whole spooky, like weird spooky vibe. Yeah, that's
yeah. There you go.
I think that would be my music.
Okay, SK. What about you?
Oh, mine would easily have to be.
I'm a Barbie girl.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, mine would easily have to be that. That's that evil music that you hear every time you see a movie. That dramatic music,
the scary music.
Yeah,
okay.
It would probably be that.
That's
like
awesome.
when you have gone up Ish Creek.
You're gonna die. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
You mean like the movie from The Conjuring or something like that? Like when it gets
yeah.
You've heard it. Just know you've heard it.
Insidious.
It's either that or Poor Unfortunate Souls by Ursula.
Ooh,
that's a good one.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like to bring people down. That makes sense. Okay.
That's actually one of my favorites.
I don't like to bring people down. Listen, I make deals, and sometimes
he just wants to eat. He just wants souls. That's
across the coals.
That's all. Yeah,
that's it.
No money, just your eternal soul.
That's all. Dini?
What about me? Oh man!
Ooh, the theme from Shaft. There you go.
Man, you're right. Something Superfly.
Yeah,
right.
With his gangster look, his hat, and his, I've seen some of those photos you put out there. I'm like, that would be perfect.
Oh yeah, when he's wearing the hat, exactly.
His hat and like the trench coat, and he's got a little pocket watch. I like that. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
The hip stuff.
I would probably have to say for me too, the theme music to Harry Potter.
Oh, that totally fits you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not shocking. There, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. All right. So tonight's game
brought to you by Little Caesars.
Little pizza.
Pretzel crust pizza.
It was not brought to you by Little Caesars.
This is not a paid sponsorship, but any hate mail comments, SK Mac, if there's lawsuits,
that's so foolish. I am sorry. Forget
I
do that in real life, so I'll be forgetting like we can't do that on the show. Like I'll be giving intermissions and introductions to stuff.
Well, if there's a lawsuit, we don't know you, so
right. It's all good. It's all good. Yo, I had this agenda tonight, but we just totally went off script. The only thing it's been like that for the last 3 weeks or so. It's been unscripted.
Sometimes spontaneity though makes it better, in my opinion. But
yeah, I mean that's how your show is like.
Pretty much, yep. We have no script whatsoever, so I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
And you guys just talk.
We pull it out of and sometimes magic happens. Really, if you want to be honest.
It's real cool.
I like Magic.
I know you do.
All right. So tonight's game is Name That Item. From the past, that is. I am the current champion. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you can take the title, by all means, try your best. But I shall retain. No. I shall retain this title.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, man, I took too many losses. I'm coming back. You and SK is just making it real interesting lately. So,
yeah,
not today.
Well, we'll just have to see.
Oh, I'm challenged. I'm got close to you now. He's been missing a few weeks. I raked up a lot of those belts.
Who has?
I have. You have been AWOL.
No, I have not. I've been back. You are. That's old.
I
didn't got 2 champions since you done been out. I didn't took one of your titles.
That's fine. I'll get it back. No worries.
But you won't. That's the problem. The problem is you won't.
I like your confidence. It makes me feel good about myself.
Poe, you want to make a friendly wager? I don't hear Poe.
He's hanging. He got his mic off.
Okay. He's probably on the bathroom break. So the order is SK, Sam
there we
Crow,
go.
Poegosi, and then myself.
Okay. Well, Poegosi wasn't there. Dini had a question for you.
Poegosi. Yeah. Do you want to make a wager?
What should we bet on? Yeah, I mean,
against Sam Crow and SK.
No.
In this title match.
Oh boy.
Because they think they're going to get it from me, and I'm telling them no.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
Here, in my defense, let me just say, when we played, what was it? Name that the '90s thing when Dini said, "There's no way you're going to beat me." How did that turn out?
Hey man, I had an off night.
I'm just okay. Oh, okay. Way to crush my enthusiasm.
Yeah,
okay.
You know, I was going through some things.
Wow.
Yeah, he was going through a hard time. Remember during that whole time.
Can't even respect my greatness. Wow.
No, you know, in this whole journey, I was feel like, let me serve someone, be nice.
Oh, okay. Oh, so now it's like
Sam Crow win. You know.
Oh, so now I'm the Make-A-Wish kid. now I'm the Make-A-Wish. Thank you. Okay.
Hey man, I'm just trying to go to heaven. I'm just trying to go to heaven.
Well, if I earn you your wings, it'll be worth it. I'll give you that.
It will be worth it, like George and It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You guys be
I'm happy to be the. Listen, I'm happy to be your charity case if it makes you feel better. So that's
it. Do.
Okay.
So much better.
All right. Just call me Tiny Tim. Please, sir. I want some more.
All right. Let me change your name, Tiny Tim.
Okay.
Okay, SK, are you ready?
I'm here.
Bring on the noise. This ought to be good.
It's me first, right?
Yeah, you're first, SK.
Yep.
This is great.
What is it?
Toaster.
Oh.
Is it?
A toaster, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sam Crow, what are these?
Ooh, they're thumbnails. Or, yeah.
No, that is not what they're called.
Symbols. So close.
Poegosi, what is that?
Typewriter.
No.
No. The Rolodex.
It's the Rolodex.
Bloody hell.
I got 3 already.
I have no idea. A measuring stick.
That's a probe.
Scale.
Oh, okay.
SK.
Oh, those measure your feet. They measure shoe size.
Nope, roller skates.
They're roller skates.
Okay.
Tiny Tim.
Is that that's a camera, right? Film camera, yeah.
Whoa.
Poegosi.
Phone book.
Close. It's a
Rolodex.
What the hell is that?
Not a phone book.
Oh, come on. No.
No,
it's an accordion.
Okay.
That looks like a pipe organ. Organ. Electric organ.
Nope, a harmonium.
What is
Sam
that?
Crow.
Oh, that's an iron. That's an old-fashioned iron.
That is an iron.
Yep.
Yeah. Poegosi.
8mm projector, film projector.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll give it to him, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Telephone. El Telefono.
I know about that because
That's the one Alexander Graham Bell used. Yeah.
I know what they record snuff films on. That's why I know.
FK.
Getting top.
Oh, those are old school.
Yep.
Wow.
I had one of those.
Sam Crow.
Oh, when there was no TV, there were radios. Dinner Music Theater. Yep.
Poegosi.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, we had these in music class. Metronome.
There you go. Yeah.
Typewriter. No, calculator.
What?
Which is it?
Look like?
It's not. It's a
Calculator.
It's a cash register.
FK.
A sight.
Yep. There you go.
Hey.
Or is it a sickle?
Okay.
It's a sickle.
Sickle. What is that?
That's
Sam
an
Crow?
oil can.
Poegosi? Oh.
Bonus?
Well. Oh, go ahead. Yeah. What is
Try
it?
it.
Straight edge. Straight edge.
Or is that a shoe shine?
That was it.
They don't tell you. Yeah.
That was
Well, that was
it.
quick. That was quick.
Wellness
Okay.
is sacrifice.
Well,
That was a short one.
I definitely lost.
So I regret to say that SK has 3, Poegosi 2, Dini 2, and Tiny Tim 4.
He does not have 4.
How did he get 4? Wow.
You got 4.
You
Give
know,
it up
I'm
to
sick
Tiny
of this.
Tim.
I'm not giving nothing up.
That's right.
This one was very
Actually, SK had 2, not 3. I forgot. to
That's
take
even
that
better.
out.
No.
Hey, you said siphon. It was a sickle.
That's right.
You made that up. You made that
Okay.
up. I got
Just
3.
for once, I got to say this. I'm the champion. Who's the greatest? Ali.
He took back the championship belt.
I'm glad you feel good about yourself.
I do. Thank you.
I don't. I'm not actually. I'm not.
That makes me feel even better. Yeah.
Sarcasm.
And I'm sorry. Can we back up? What did Dini say? Not happening tonight? Is that what he
Hey,
said?
man.
Yeah.
Was it an off night?
I was giving you your flowers. Don't do that.
Matter of fact,
Okay.
he lost so bad.
Let
he almost
bygones
came
be
behind
bygones.
me.
You're right. I
didn't
can
say
see.
anything. I didn't.
You're
say
right.
anything.
You're right.
No.
I
Who
apologize.
cares
Here's
if
a
he did?
handshake for you. There you go. Thank you. Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll take it. You're right. I'll be humble now. Boy, I've been hanging around SK too much. I'm getting a big ego now.
It's not contagious. You're doing that at your own free will.
Oh, okay. Oh, I never said I wasn't. I'm just saying your influence does help a lot. So, you know.
You're impressionable.
That was crazy. I
All
haven't seen a metronome in years since music school in elementary. That shows how old I am. Like,
Right?
I'm pretty sure kids don't use no damn metronomes now. It's like some VR, 3D,
Have you actually?
holographic.
I have
super
one. I have a
Wi-Fi.
digital one. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. But we used the physical ones back in the day.
You know what I used to use too is I use a drum tuner. If you've ever never seen one of those are interesting.
Haven't seen one.
You sit it right on the drum head. It tells you how much tension's on the head. So I take my key, and if I need to tighten it, it gives me how much. Yep. It's pretty awesome, actually. It saves me a lot of time.
I think that kids should learn about metronomes.
They do. They should.
They should still learn about the ancient times. Like, I wish they would have taught me about medieval weapons when I was in first grade. I would have loved to handle a sword and a mace and a shield and all kinds of catapults. I mean,
you know what?
Are those
how much fun first grade would have been.
important today?
I'll text you. There's a good book if you want to read that, Poegosi. I have to look it up. There's a good book for that, actually.
Medieval weapons?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
it. It gives a complete history of them, how it breaks down what they're used for. Yep.
SK said, "What use would it do today?"
A lot of use if someone breaks in my house, like, you know, unless they have a more advanced weapon. But I mean,
he's got a mace under. He's got a chain mace under his bed.
But it's got a chain mace under his bed, and from their doorway they have a 9mm.
Well, he's got a shield too. So Captain America, you know, got the
and the armor.
After they shoot the first one in their shield, they're gonna shoot him immediately in the kneecap. Then what?
Oh, well, he's got chainmail on, so that helps.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's like the original body armor.
Exactly. See. Fun fact about chainmail actually was, I forget, it wasn't designed for, it was designed for something else, but someone, it's like a work accident, they realized, oh, this can protect you from being stabbed. And I'm not sure about bullets. I'm sure it helps a little bit, but they didn't have guns back then, so I don't know.
Arrows.
Yeah. Well, that was the same thing like being stabbed. It was an object that could stick you. That's what the chainmail did, but who knows? We'll have to try it one day. If you're going to get some chainmail, Poegosi, I'll shoot you. We'll see what happens.
All right, let's try it out. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Make sure we get it on film, though. We got to get it on film for entertainment purposes.
Do people steal bits?
Yeah. I wanted to do it. There was a club years back. I wanted to sign up and never got to do it. It's an actual fun thing if you ever can do it. It's awesome. Fencing, very graceful, very
Yeah, that's what medieval times is.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of classic schools like Harvard and places, they still teach that. A lot of like the Ivy League schools used to do that quite a bit.
Yeah, but who nowadays say, "Sir, let's go out like noble gentlemen on guard"?
What do you mean, like they do a duel? No one has that kind of honor now.
Yeah, nobody has that kind of honor. They
shoot you in the back first.
They do like Indiana Jones. They do flipping and doing all that karate. Indiana Jones is like,
people do have it though. In John Wick 3, they actually did go back to the old ways and did a duel.
They did. Well, no, you know what?
So if you fight with men of honor and stature, yes, but regular people no.
Well, here's the fun thing. Since Dini brought that up, you know that scene in Indiana Jones where he pulls the gun and shoots the guy and everything?
And the other guy was like doing like
but you know why that happened though, actually. That was not how that was. It wasn't scripted that way. He was supposed to do hand-to-hand combat.
But he's like, the gun's easier.
Well, no. That day of shooting, Harrison Ford had 101-degree fever. He was sick.
So he's like, I'm just going to shoot him.
He said, I can't do the hand. So they changed the script and said, well, for more fun, then just pull your revolver and shoot the guy. That's why he couldn't do. But he said, I'm too sick to do hand-to-hand. So that's what they changed
it. That's awesome. I'm just like too sick to do it. But it's so funny.
They wouldn't let him do it. He got 100.
Yeah, because the guy goes raw and he's all swinging it, doing all these crazy moves. And he's like, bam.
Yep. And then the original script, he's supposed to pull a sword from somewhere. They're supposed to have a sword fight, but he's like, I can't do it with 101 fever. I don't have the energy. He had like the flu or something. So he's like, and they had a shooting schedule. So the producer said, well, you know what? Let's change it. Then just pull your revolver. And that's what you see in the final cut. Yep.
Dude, that's so funny. I thought it was just for comedic relief. I thought it would.
Yeah, no, it worked out that way. It was unplanned, but you see how well it stayed in the film then, and it worked out.
Dude, my mom tells me about
that's the one thing that you remember about the film.
Dude, for real, my mom still
it's so iconic.
She tells me how funny that part was.
Well, and that's like a lot of Jim Carrey's films. A lot of things he does are off scripted. There's things that are not supposed to be happening that he goes off script and does himself.
But it's good. Yeah, it's like
right. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it's like the meme that's all over the internet. You see it everywhere. It becomes an iconic moment.
Yeah.
So it just works out that way, you know.
You gotta just get crazy, man. That's the thing I've realized.
See, and that's why, like I said, sometimes like when you do shows, sometimes having a script it's good to work off of, but you can't always go verbatim. You gotta kind of mix it a little bit. You gotta have a little. Just so it's not stale or anything. You want to have some, some things to mix it up.
Like our conversation now has been like a mixture of array of topics, but they all kind of they've been cohesive in a weird way, but they're totally not related.
No, but it's so organic and natural that it just works. It just you can't
Whole Foods.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't script that. Sometimes scripting it downplays the value of it.
I don't think we could have scripted that. It was pretty wild.
No.
Yeah.
This one down, Dini.
Huh?
We're the Whole Foods of communication.
See?
Okay, I take it.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, and that's what separates everybody doing the same thing. You want to be unique. You want to be memorable, and some of these moments can be memorable. So how else are you going to stand out?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing like with music. If all music artists did the same thing, who's going to stand out anywhere? I mean, it's all repetitive.
Somebody has to be the bad boy.
Yep.
Somebody has to be
That's
a
right.
stand-in.
Mm-hmm.
We got all these standouts. Who's standing in?
Exactly.
Tim's not showing up tomorrow for his shift. So, like,
Yeah.
Who's going to show up for Tim?
Yeah.
An accountant.
Yep.
Yep. I want to know who really is showing up for Tim tomorrow.
That's a good question.
It's a good point. Yeah. I mean,
I'm trying to find out.
But those are the things we don't think about a lot. No, it's okay. We love all kinds. We don't discriminate here. So
that is a fact.
Yep.
The slur I was about to say was gonna get us canceled.
Let's not get the FCC involved. Yeah, no, let's not.
After I got
That's like a creator's worst nightmare.
After I got hit,
I'm gonna say it to him on Facebook.
Okay. He's like, I'll do it over there. Yeah.
I have no fear there.
Do it on X.
There you go.
X doesn't care.
Yes, no judgment. You have your right to say it. There you go.
Yeah,
Rumble and Truth Social. You can
and Kick. Yeah.
Kick.
It's funny.
It's still a thing.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Telegram. Get your own. Code.
There you go. It's funny how
all these me that I will make a
spread propaganda.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? It's like I forgot what I was gonna say about it.
You notice like how far social media has fallen down the pipeline when all these restrictions start happening, and like back in the day there's some rules obviously standard.
Remember MySpace? That was wild.
Yep.
I said so many bad words on there. I never got a strike.
That's it, right?
I never have posted on my social medias.
Right.
Now
I
it's
don't
crazy.
understand that.
But nowadays you can't say anything, otherwise, you'll get banned with no explanation whatsoever. So you say
or banana clip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I noticed though? Like when I do say like the F word on a post on Facebook, they let me post it, but they say your reach is gonna be stifled. And then when I don't put cuss words, it says, "Oh, now you can reach a lot of people." So yeah, they just like you can say it, but it's not gonna get reach. It's like maybe a couple people might see it, but like I noticed that they do tell you,
which is like, what's the point? Because you're trying to reach people, so it's still hindering you.
But I want to say that word. I don't think that word is like offensive to like a group of people. It's just what the F, right? If you say what the F, it's like it's not. It's different if you say another word, that's offensive to race or group or gender or whatever. But if you're saying what the F's going on, that's not offensive to a person. So I don't.
But you know what it is? There's been so much backlash and so many things happen that social media has become so regulated where almost anything anymore is offensive. I don't know why that is, but
it also has to do with the advertisers. The advertisers on Facebook and YouTube, they don't want too many curse words,
right?
Or too much hard content to put there. Like Disney probably doesn't want to be on a video where that word's saying every 3 seconds, stuff like that.
Well,
so that's what it is. The monetization is really what changes, because YouTube before it was monetized was crazy. You guys remember back in those clicks?
Yep.
It was crazy.
Yep.
Like
we'll see that.
We could do anything. It wasn't.
Well, you know what? Now that changed now because now they partner with Google. Google owns YouTube
once
now.
Google bought it, everything became more.
That's the problem, and everybody's buying everybody, so you never know what platform is owned by who, what's safe to say here, there, and where else.
Yeah.
So you just need to keep your mouth shut.
Well, in some cases, perhaps. I feel like that's a hard concept for certain people here. But yes, I'm talking about you.
Oh, me?
Mr. I have an opinion, which is fair, but again, it's got to be hard for you.
It's funny. I speak probably the most on this show, but yet people know the least about me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You're like that. You're like that Shakespearean character.
You fall into that facade, but go ahead.
No, I was going to say you're talking like Shakespeare. Shakespeare spoke a lot, but nobody really knew about his background, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
You're sort of like that.
I always assume that the loudest person in the room is usually the weakest, or tells
not
all
true.
Of their business, etc.
Not true. No. That's it's always the ones you least expect, but I don't know. I just feel like here's the thing, like, and again, I understand like the guidelines, but the day is going to come where I think social media is going to become non-existent if we can't share anything. I mean, what's going to be the point anymore, you know? And who knows what's to say, what's going to be offensive 5-10 years down the road, whatever.
Well,
So
I noticed that like all the people from my generation don't post anymore. It's all these young people now.
Oh yeah,
because like everyone like that was young when MySpace was around, they don't really post like that no more.
No.
Or the
when
people
you
that
say
posted
they don't really post,
the people that posted like
where are
15
you
years
looking
ago
for
a lot.
these people on? Because the people from MySpace probably don't participate on TikTok.
True.
Or Twitch.
Yeah.
Or, you know, those people probably participate on Facebook, maybe Twitter before it became X, Instagram,
maybe
possibly.
Twitter.
Yeah. Snapchat, maybe.
I mean, where are you looking for these people? Because
I'm just saying like
the
Facebook
people
used
from
to
the
be.
MySpace days.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying like Facebook used to be way more lit on the regular profiles. Now on the
Oh, yeah.
pages, it's still lit. Like even pages that post content,
Yeah.
content creator pages, that's lit. But like regular profiles are dead now. Like
Yeah.
more people post on Instagram, and even that's kind of dead for regular people. It's just
Yeah.
like the celebrities or the content creators. That's what it's become. It's just become mostly the content creators.
You must don't go on you don't go on what's the name of it?
Hang on.
TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
really the
TikTok
big.
but that's like a video site though. That's not really social media where you write.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like Blue
Really?
Sky, X, Facebook,
Yeah.
those kind of things. Are
Oh,
kinda
that
dead.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like,
besides content creators, like I'm saying, TikTok is content creators. That's just
yeah,
all
yeah.
thing. But I say, as far as regular people posting, like back in the MySpace and early Facebook days, it just seemed.
Oh yeah, everything was there, but now it's
Right,
you
it was a
know,
lot of people posting, but everyone got
Yeah.
older. They have
Yeah.
responsibilities now, or it's just different.
Probably on Reddit.
There
Yeah,
you
Reddit
go.
is pretty.
Reddit
Yeah,
seems
Probably on Reddit.
Reddit
yeah, that seems a little more user friendly from what I can
that has
tell.
like that has a lot of posts on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot.
Yeah.
but it's
Reddit
just like
or-
I guess everyone like migrated to Reddit. That's what it is.
yeah.
They migrated to Reddit to like other sites. I don't know. Blue Sky, how is that? Is that lit or people
It's very similar to like what Twitter was back in the day. Yeah, it's similar.
Can I troll on there? Or am I gonna get banned? Because if I can't make a profile to troll, I'm not sure.
Well, you know what's funny? Actually, the creators of Blue Sky are actually the original creators of Twitter. It was the original, I think, CEO that was Twitter at one time before the X change. So, from what I read, I believe their profession is similar to what X is doing, but they're trying to take the Twitter approach. You know, they want it to be
old school Twitter.
right. So
you
I
can
would
still
venture to
troll.
say if you start small, you probably could troll a bit. I don't think they haven't regulated it too much yet.
Yeah, because I don't see the point of making an account on a new site unless I could have some fun with it. Because otherwise, I get bored.
Yeah. Well, see, that's like what we do. Like we have pretty much but it's just to streamline episodes. Like and sometimes interact with fans, but there's nothing that we go too crazy because, again, for the same reason of if we're being watched, you know, what we post, what's out there, you know, all these things are going to be not necessarily we get flagged for anything, but you just don't know sometimes. So, you know, it's hard.
I just want to joke around and say crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, even that you can't do most places anymore.
Well,
because
you just have to make sure you don't go too far with it. But yeah, you can still joke around. It's just,
well, even that, like, it's getting tighter and tighter because you say one thing that could be deemed offensive, and it could be something very mild,
or where it's too sexual. Yeah,
well, they're right. So you get flagged for the
people are getting
simplest
flagged for like memes that are too sexual or too edgy now, which is crazy. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Well, there was one, I forget who the content creator was, but it was one of the, like, I shared a photo of me. It was one of these female creators that did like the bikini shot, right? And she's like, well, I got flagged for it, but yet I forget who the other one was, not to name names. There was yet another creator who did a topless photo that didn't get flagged.
Whoa, what the hell?
So the point was like, so I was posing in a bikini, I was covered, you know, it wasn't like very risque, but I get flagged and this other one doesn't, and she went more like off the deep end. So how does that equate? Like, how's that fair? So
exactly, like, what the hell, dude?
And I think it's the algorithms too. These social media platforms, their algorithms are like, we've been hit with. I've had episodes that get hit like oh, you're using pirate or you're using copywritten music. No, we have protection for that reason. And I go in and I clear the claims off because I'm like, it's YouTube's algorithms reading it wrong. I have permission to use all this stuff. Everything we create is natural and generic, and we have licenses to use it.
Yeah.
So why you're telling me it's not, I'm breaking the rule? No, I said I have, like, we have our monologues. We have actors that did it for us. We have license to use that. They have permission from the songwriters for that. We follow everything by the book, so I should not be getting flagged because I followed all the rules. So, but it's sometimes it misses a few things, and I'm like, that can't be right. Like, how do they figure that? Like, why am I getting flagged for the same intro music that we use that's been approved before? Now all of a sudden it's getting flagged for some reason. Like, how does that work? And they're like, oh, YouTube's like, oh, well, our algorithm is, because you're letting a machine just generically.
Right. The algorithm screws a lot of people.
Yeah.
I figured out a way around it though for my gaming videos. Like some of them said, oh, this is Zelda using copyrighted music.
You can't,
So what I do is I lower the music and the sound effects.
Yep.
And I have my mic turned up all the way. So my mic is overpowering that, so it's not picking it up. And so like I found a loophole.
Yeah.
Well, always the way around that. Because people were telling me, oh, the music's louder than your voice. I was like, I'm gonna turn that down, turn up the mic. But now I get no copyrights. So I'm like, that's like,
because the algorithm only covers music, doesn't carry voices. So like if you overshadow that,
it's not really picking it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
and that's what we did for like our monologues. And I said to the actors when we hired them, they said, like, we do a lot of our intro stuff, and they said, it's copywritten, but the law generic is as long as we are speaking over it, we have rights to use it. Like that's the loophole in that case. Like you can use it.
That's what Facebook said. They said you can use you can watch content and like have it, but you got to be commenting over it.
But it's just so hard when it's like when you restrict the creative outlet. Like, how are people gonna?
Right, who you have to talk over everything. Yeah,
and who knows? Maybe one day, a couple of years down the road, that might become an issue. Heaven forbid, but it could one day. I mean,
it's like, see, Rumble doesn't have that problem. I post anything on there; they don't care.
See, that's the nice thing about with the WWE. Like, they're very open. Like a lot of the things that are shared, they don't have issues with. They'd rather have the publicity anyway. But I mean, some of these but it's just it's really sad where people are working. And they want the money, and these other content creators are just they're not trying to steal anything from these big companies. They're just trying to, entertain and all that. So that's why you notice a lot of these creators are leaving like YouTube's platform for that very reason. Like, I've seen videos, people are like, all these videos that we had on for years, like some of these had like millions of hits. YouTube just takes down with no explanation, saying, oh, it violates our guideline standards, this and that. And people are losing money because they were big videos that were drawing people. Now they're just gone. So people are like, you know what? I'm going to, what was the one? I forget the other competing company like YouTube. Like, we're going over here. We're not going to do.
Rumble's one of them.
Rumble, that was one. So, it's just, it's unfortunate. I mean, I get the big market and the mainstream and all that stuff, but when do we say this is getting a little ridiculous? Whereas simple creators, like for us doing stuff, and we get hit with all these, these rules that we're sometimes not even breaking. Where's the equality there? Like there's other creators are. I'm not saying who, but I'm just saying people sometimes do break rules.
Say a name or don't exist.
Don't. Well, okay. For fairness, I can't think off the top of my head. I know there's a few I've seen from streaming, but I'm just like, it's unfortunate. I think it stifles creativity. So I think maybe one day again, social media might be a thing of the past. It's like who knows. Don't know.
Back to forums. Forums were fun. I like forums.
Usually there was no issue there. That's the thing.
Forums,
I think
chat rooms. No one cared there. You could share anything, man.
You could say anything. Oh gosh, have you seen some of those? You could say just about anything.
Yeah, AOL chat, Yahoo chat, forums. It was fun. Internet was so much fun back then. It's not like this is copyrighted.
Remember the AOL, like the AIM back in the day. Those were always you could say anything there. But everything's big stream media, marketing, making money, and same thing like with the music business. If you're pirating someone else's stuff and then there's an issue, and then, there's legal issues. And who was it? Somebody just got sued recently. I forget who it was because, they used someone else's song in their movie clip or something, and they didn't have permission and all that stuff. So, it's hard, but
I don't think that part of it is hard. I think that part of it is new. It's
Yeah.
new. It's a new problem for us because
Yeah.
you got. I mean, to think about it, like people have been selling their songs to be used in movies and other media for ages.
That's
It's
true.
just now we live in a time where, and it wasn't always like this because I
No.
remember the time you didn't have to do that on Facebook, but
Oh.
now I guess I can see it from the artist perspective in that
Yeah.
you could have a video that goes super viral. People don't even know their song for them. They
Right.
know the song because it was in your trendy video and you decided
Yeah.
to go in whatever direction in displaying the content you wanted to go in.
And that's fair. I get that part
So
of it.
that
Yep.
yeah, that's where I kind of like, okay, I can understand it, but
Yeah. It's the more nitpicking when like you're really picking at every little like ones that maybe it's a glitch or a glip of a song, or I mean it's not like a huge thing, but they're nitpicking at like the smallest minute okay, like I get like if you copyright a whole song or something on a major like that, I get that. But if there's like maybe somebody forgot and they played a glitch, at least say to them, hey, unless you have permission, could you like YouTube does, can you mute it or replace it? Give them a chance saying, I forgot, maybe they forgot it was there, something like that.
I think that actually I think that as big as these social sites are and as much money as they bring in from selling our data anyway,
You
I
true?
think that they should foot the cost for that.
Yeah, I
I think
agree.
that whatever songs are out and trendy, that
Yeah.
social media should be competitive with one another, and that
Yeah.
we have this catalog of songs that you can use in your video, and they
Yeah.
could have the same songs as each other, but I think there's something that would bridge the gap between the social media owners and
Yeah.
their people.
Yeah,
Like
I fully
you
agree with
come
that.
across for that. Now and then what does that do also? It supports that person's favorite artist. So
Yeah.
now is more another stream of revenue or support for your
Right.
favorite artist just for them to keep creating their art.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. I think that's a great. It's like it's a good, healthy atmosphere, and it promotes a lot for everybody can win situations. So,
Oh yeah, well that's one thing that Facebook is doing now with videos and also with reels. Instead of shutting it down or muting it, they say like your video is now sharing revenue with this artist.
Right.
So instead of shutting you down, they just give a piece of the money now to the
Yeah.
artist, and some of it goes to the creator. So they're like
That's
learning.
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Before they would just mute your shit, and that was it.
Right.
It sucked, but even like last year. So now they did this new thing where they say you get to share revenue. I don't know how Instagram works because I'm not monetized on there, but they say on there I use music and they don't shut me down. Like I
Right.
make like a meme with some music and So I think they're starting to get smarter about that instead of because even the artist is probably thinking, "Man, I make more money if like 1 million people use my song."
Right.
But they're real.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting all kinds
Because it's
of
mutually beneficial, right? And that's a
Yeah.
win for everybody. So,
like why would they get mad about that? It's different if someone
Yeah.
puts it in their movie or their project. They're not making no money off of. That's different. They could get mad about
Right.
that. But if they're making some money off of it, and now social media has it in the algorithm where it splits the revenue, I think that's a good thing.
Y'all look at Dini.
Yeah, it went 9-9. Yeah, it's
That's
time. It's time to go to
I'm
sleep.
going to head out, so maybe that if we all leave, maybe the show will cut off.
I doubt it because he's got to pull the
Dini.
plug too.
Dini! I'm gonna call Amy.
I guess we're that boring. Maybe we were, the conversation just got,
Bye, y'all.
He's like they're
I'm gonna
talking
call
about.
Amy.
He's like they're talking about social media. Like it's like
bye. No, it's okay. No, we don't want to leave them. We don't leave the camera running because that's,
So are we leaving, or we're gonna wait for Dini?
Well, he's got control, so technically this could run because it could be monetizing him sleeping and watching on camera for 8 hours later.
Because even if we leave, he's still here. So like
He's gonna because he's got to shut off the he's got the main control. So
yeah, he's the master control. So it's like
you're right. Yeah. So we'll give it a minute. I don't know if we could text him. Maybe that'll wake him up. Maybe
get Big Hoss on here. Can't you send him the link? Just say
I can. he might not now because it's later now. He's going to bed early. He's getting to be one of these old fuddy duddies there.
So he's taking care of his health. That's good.
You know, I mean, it's to some extent. I mean, he doesn't stay up till like 4 a.m. gaming like I can't do that anymore. But you know, I mean,
I can't either.
I don't have the stamina like I used. I mean, my early 20s, I could do that like every night pretty much. But now I'm just.
I could do that stuff in my 20s and 30s, but now that I'm older, not really.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work. Not so much.
I mean, not if I have to do stuff the next day. If I have to do stuff, yeah, just try to go to sleep.
Yeah.
This was a good episode. I think I got creative. I'm glad that the soundboard surprised you guys. See, that's what I want to do.
I like it, yeah.
Because
I think that's a gimmick you really could roll with. If you can program, put stuff in there, that'd be awesome, yeah.
Well, what I do is I just clip the stuff from YouTube and I just make it a little.
Oh, there you go.
So it's
like do that.
That's what I always tell people. People's like, "How do you do this stuff? Are you using AI?" I was like, "I am AI." No, I'm smart. I could use the tools I have to do all kinds of crazy shit. Because they're like, "Your mind's like a computer," and I'm like, "Our mind is a computer. We're beyond."
It is.
Like, do you know how
many?
But
like even your backdrop, like now I could see just a recommendation. I've seen this, and not to well, it's not really copyright, but like if you did like the Twilight, like you need like the red moon background, like with the, you know, the blood red sky with the blood red moon there. You could switch up your, you know, the night.
Yeah.
So now you go from just a simple dark to like, now we're going like blood moon, like, you know, out with the vampires night. Like this is, you know, very, very scary. And if you get your lighting even a little darker, you get a little more, maybe get a hood up there, get a little more of a sinister, you know, kind of like the Darth Sidious view. Like you have just enough of your face, but you know.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like, is he making potions in his basement type of thing? He might be. We don't know. It could be. But no, and then maybe have a cauldron shot. Like, here's my cauldron. I was brewing right before the show.
I was really doing some stuff.
Yeah.
Get to making
beer. That could work. Or get clips from like the Young Frankenstein, like maybe like a movie clip in the background, like the black and white with Gene Wilder. You know, some of the
awesome.
Like the Wolfman. You could do the old classic, the creature from the Black Lagoon kind of thing.
Yeah, Ed Wood, like the Poegosi, old school Dracula.
See?
Old school
there you go.
And Addams Family is popular now because of Wednesday, the TV show.
Yeah, it has gone such a viral hit. Like, and again, it's not a new concept. It's just something that for some reason it's like bringing back a cult classic that just sort of took off.
They rehashed it and made it like darker and more modern. So like this generation like it too. But my generation likes it too because we just remember Wednesday Addams. And
I love the original. I watched the original Addams Family growing. Yeah, that was
the TV show and then the movies. She was pretty hardcore in the movies. That's where it started.
Christina Ricci there, back in the day. Yeah.
She was hardcore. She was hardcore. So like they kind of brought back Christina Ricci, but like older, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so crazy. You know what? I think there was alcohol in Dini's cup.
It had to be. I've never seen some. It doesn't look. I mean, I've fallen asleep sitting at the desk, but not to that extent.
No, Dini's told me a couple times when we were texting that he's passed out in his chair.
I mean, I get it. You know, long days and you know, stuff happens, and it's kind of one of those.
He's passed out in his chair, and then also like that. Yeah, he told me a couple times he passed out in his chair, and I was like, "That's crazy." I've done that too, but usually I was really drunk and it was really late.
Well, that's typically. Now, I mean, I've been so tired. I passed out on the toilet, not intentionally, but that was, you know, that's only happened a few times. But
my friend did that when he was really drunk and he was on the phone with me. I was talking to him, all of a sudden he stopped talking, and then he started talking again after a while. I was like, "What happened?" I passed out. I passed out on the toilet of all places.
Yeah, right. And then I can't feel my legs because I've been even so like just for 10 minutes. I still can't feel my legs. So it's like, but I mean that's impressive. I've never seen. He could be like a champion competitive sleeper. I've never seen that. I wanted to do that when I was younger. I always wanted to be a competitive sleeper. If they could pay me for that.
There's streams where people get paid to sleep. Used to get paid to sleep, and you could still get paid to sleep. Like that's been a trend for a while. You just lay there and you record yourself sleeping and stream.
I've seen that. Yeah, people make a lot of money doing that.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like people that just want to see that. It's like, I don't know if I would call it a fetish or like a genre, but it has its niche, you know.
What's her name? You know, I don't know if you're familiar. Are you familiar with Amaranth, the content creator?
Oh yeah, didn't
She's
she
on.
get robbed?
Yeah, she did it one time, but she's famous, and she said she does the sleep stream. And she said sometimes her nighttime streams make more money than her daytime stream.
Yeah, where she's actually talking.
Yeah, but she's like, I'm just sleeping. People watch. She gets like millions of hits. I'm like, wow, just to watch you sleep? Like, okay.
Yeah, a lot of people like to see sleep streams. It's weird. I remember a long time ago, like over 15 years ago, maybe even longer than that, maybe 20 years ago, there was this guy that said he would just sleep and people would watch. A lot of people.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So I don't know. There is this thing. I mean, that's streaming was barely starting, where people didn't have like a fast enough connection to really do it.
Right.
Now,
Yeah,
mostly,
back then. Yeah, back when dial-up was the thing, you couldn't do much. Wasn't as fast now. Streaming it, the nice Wi-Fi now and stuff makes streaming so much better. So
oh yeah, high speed internet. Yeah, like I miss dial-up though because it was fun because you would log in.
Yeah,
and the internet was like this weird world, and then you would log out, and then now it just seems like
it's just there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's becoming too normalized. That's why I'm doing all this spooky, weird stuff. I want to bring back the weirdness to the internet.
Well, it's funny because I always said, like, when we were kids growing up, the rule was, and I always tell this story because people find it's pretty funny still, where we had homework to do. Mom would always say, my sister and I would get like an hour of recreational time on the internet.
Exactly.
The only rule that we learned, though, we learned this the fun way, was we had to cap it because we used to go on like early afternoons. Well, at one point, my dad would come home from work and he's like, where the heck is everybody? I've been trying to call for like an hour and a half. I'm like,
yeah, it would block the number. Yeah.
So what we had to do, the rule was my mom would say, okay, nobody gets recreational time. My dad would come home like around 5 p.m. at night. Nobody gets recreational time until after dad comes home and after we have dinner. That way we're all home. And you can't go an hour back to back. Yeah, like if I went on at say 6, my sister's like, okay, you get to go on like around 8 o'clock and then that's it. You get an hour tops. And, you know, because if there's ever an emergency, of course, this was before cell phones were big. There's no other phone option.
Yeah, your phone would be blocked.
So we learned the hard way. And I think we forgot to log off. So we left it on one day and like it blocked the phone line and then my parents were like, no wonder we didn't get any phone calls because nobody the internet was still on. Like, whoops. So
yeah, I remember that. Then they built like this adapter.
Yeah, if you want to plug it in. Yep.
Yeah, you could do both, and especially if you had DSL, it had this adapter. But
that was the big cringe, the big technological advance at the time.
Everything, but before that, when you just had AOL dial-up, before they had that, I would say your phone was blocked.
Yeah, you couldn't. And like, I want to go on AOL and talk to friends, and I'm like, okay, guys, I got to get offline now because someone's got to use the phone. So it's like I can't
get off the phone.
Well, they would. My mom's like, hey, I got to make a phone call. You got to get off. Like, I said, give me 5 minutes. Like, no, you had said that 5 minutes ago. Like, you got to get off, like, now.
That's why I would just go on at night when no one would call. So I'd be like late night AOL chat and stuff.
See, that was the thing. I wished about being, I was younger then. We had a bedtime. But sometimes, we'd sneak downstairs and, you log on when mom and dad goes to bed. And it's like, okay, no one's going to know.
I would troll. Back then, I got banned from AOL because I was cursing out celebrities on their forums, but it was on the official AOL. I remember they shut my account down where I had to call them. And then the girl on the phone said, do you want me to read what you said? I was like, I know what I said, and I stand on that. It's America, I said, but I guess there's no freedom of speech on the AOL forum. So
see, that was the thing. Yeah, that.
But it was crazy because I was like, who gives a F about the stupid celebrity? I didn't say nothing that bad.
But back then, that was the thing that everybody was offended by that time. I mean, again, it's worse now, but at that time it was special. You couldn't say.
But in the chat rooms, you could, because I remember I would go in the chat rooms. I was a teenager. And I would go in the cop chat rooms and I'd say, hey, what's up, all you donut eaters? But I was an idiot. I was just a kid back then. And I'd be like, before I go, I just like to say one thing after the police. I was like, what was I doing? But you're just a kid and you're on the internet and you're thinking I'm going to go troll these people. But it's like trolling is not a new thing. It was.
No, it's always been there. It's just become more prolific now because everybody's doing it. And
they gave it a word now.
Yeah.
And it's mostly just dumb kids because I was a dumb kid. I was like 17 years old. So I'm like, I'm going to go screw with these cops, piss them off. Then I'd go into the old people forums, like 40 years old. People would be like, hey, what's up, you oldie but goodies? And they said, one day you're going to be old too. And then now I'm old. And they're like, fuck.
Now I get it. Yeah. It's like karma's
Why
Karma comes around and bites you.
Karma came back to bite me in the ass years later.
Yep.
I would have been a teen forever. And then, nope. It's like, now there's probably kids coming to my chat saying, what's up, you oldie?
I'm like, I have people calling like, you know what? Listen, I've embraced it. I know I'm getting old, so you're not going to hurt me at this point because you're just not.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt me, especially if a kid calling me that because I used to troll people being stupid. But
and see, now you can say, just wait, your time will come. You're going to be the oldie.
You're going to be the oldie. I'll be dead, but you will.
It's the gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Yep.
And I will haunt you when you turn that in.
Yep. There you go.
Dude,
My
goodness. I remember back in the day, AOL was trolling chat rooms, forums. That was nothing but trolling. Man, I got into so many fights on forums, but no one knew who you were.
I know, right?
So we would talk so much crap. A lot of people said we're going to meet up to fight. They never did.
That
talked the big game. Yeah, they never actually did. I don't think one person from those forums ever actually met. Friends met on there that became friends, but the people that were enemies never met up to fight. It never happened.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, I just thought of it. We should have told SK. Should have texted Amy, said to come in the room here. I don't know if she's even still awake.
Yeah, I just texted Dini, but I don't think his phone is on.
I don't know.
Should I try to call him?
You could try to call. Yeah, maybe. It's got to be because he texted earlier. So I'm like, maybe we call Amy. Like, hey, he's in the other room. He's out cold. We just don't want this. Yeah, try that.
Let me try to call him. I'm just gonna call him, and I hope that he doesn't get mad.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be more mad if we leave him sleep for like 9 hours with the I mean, this has to because I don't know how long this is gonna go. At least probably 5 or 6 hours. I don't know if it shuts off automatically, but
no, we're on for 5 hours. Okay, let me call him.
Yeah, see what he does.
I looked and I saw him. I thought he was just dozing off, but I didn't think he actually passed out.
Well, that's what I thought. And then it's like he hasn't moved at all. I'm like, wow, that's impressive. I've never seen anybody just like. Okay.
No, he's told me many times on text that he's passed out, but
yeah, I've never actually see it live is impressive. So
let me see if
I'm gonna have to do this while you call him. So this is gonna be a promo for the show. If anybody who wants to like and follow and stuff, we'll have a sleeping session where if that's your
sleep. Dude,
I'll do it.
I always feel like that's natural to me. It's like I'm calling him, but I don't. Do you hear it over there?
I don't hear anything unless he's got it on silent.
Yeah, he probably does because we were recording. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't really want to leave because
we were having fun,
I don't want to leave him like that. Like I just
because especially again, it should cut off, but I don't want to leave him sitting there sleeping for I'm sure YouTube would love that, but still.
This is probably going to be our viral moment. You never know. You always say that moment that you didn't think was going to be the moment is your moment.
Yeah. We gotta think. Oh, we're gonna call him the Sandman. There you go. That's his own nickname now. We got him.
There it is. Yeah. No, because he's texted me a lot of times. He said I passed out at my desk and I probably just needed to sleep. He would tell me these things, right? And I was like, cool. Like I've done that before. I passed out at the desk. I passed out.
Oh, I've done too. Yeah.
Lately now I do make it to the bed because I start feeling drowsy. So I just like, it's time to make our way back.
Time to hang it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Like before I wouldn't. I'm like, I'm gonna keep going. I'm like, nope. Good night.
See, I'm like, if we had controls and we could, it's just I know he's got control of the main thing because if otherwise we could shut it down, but he'll just be sitting there.
Yeah, if we leave, it's just gonna make us, but he'll stay. So that's the thing.
No, he'll be there. He has to shut down the La 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 la.
Dini, wake up.
Wakey, time for cakey. Boy,
I thought he was just kind of dozing off for a while, or we were like annoying him. But then when I looked, I was like, no, he's not getting up. Like he's just passed out.
Because I don't know. I mean, I would say, hopefully, if Amy's still awake, call her and say, hey, he's sleeping.
I've never texted or called Amy. I mean, maybe SK could or you.
There you go. Thanks, Kay.
We should have told
Thanks, Kay Ice. Yeah, he just texted Amy. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you, Kay Ice. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, because join the chat, Kay Ice.
Yeah, there you go.
Because we're staying on until he wakes up. So that's
we can't leave him hanging because, like I said, this is entertaining. But I don't know if he wants us to be on the air for another 4 or 5 hours.
Right, we could have the Bible session before we go to sleep.
There you go. Must have been a tough day. I mean, I get it. I've had days where it's like some nights you just.
Oh yeah, where you just want to crash.
Yep.
Yeah, but see, I don't like to talk Bible stuff because I do it the wrong way. Like if I'm like honest how I want to say it, I'll do it wrong. On Dini and kind of like Pastor K, they help me do it the right because the way I want to say it's like a lot of you mother efforts are going to hell because you can't keep your hot dog in its package. You know, and I want to say that, but it's like it's a simple nature. It's funny, right? But it's not the right way to preach. And I'm just thinking, I know people are gonna know what I'm talking about, but it's not the right way. So I'm like, hold back.
Here's the thing. I will say this: the concept that you have is good. You want to be honest and forthright, but you just want to make sure you do say the right thing. So there's,
Yeah, I just think the way I want to go about it naturally,
because you don't want to do the opposite.
It's just not right. So like I always think, because I was gonna do a series like that, but I was like, no, I gotta do Bible stuff with a little more respect.
Yeah,
I can't mess around with the Lord because that's one thing that I don't play with. So it's like, so I'd rather do the spooky thing because that's joking around and
that's always fun though.
Yeah, I think the spooky thing is a better way to go.
Yeah. No, and it's a good, like I said, everybody has their, you want to have a unique something that sticks to your characteristic. That's why I said, like, for, okay, SK tried. Okay, well, we're in trouble.
SK tried? Oh, I thought you said K-Ice did.
He did, but then SK just messaged, say he did try to reach out to Amy. She's asleep already.
What can we do?
Well,
like Pastor K says, let's say a prayer. I mean,
there you go.
That could work.
I just don't want to leave him, because I don't want to leave him hanging. Because again, this could go on. It's got to cut off, but I mean, what, 5 hours? I don't know what the.
I don't really want to leave. That's the thing.
No, I'm backstage. Oh, well, I can't let you in. Sorry, dude. We'd let you in, but I don't have that control either.
So even that he could.
We can't get him. We can't get him on. Yeah, nope. We can't bring him on.
Damn it! That sucks.
Yep. But at least you know you guys are here. So I mean, at least SK, as he said, he's backstage, so that's good.
That sucks that we don't have the control. Maybe you should make one of us admin.
Yeah, you can. It might not be a bad idea. Yeah, just in case something like this.
Just in case something happens, someone could like let people in or shut it down. Yeah, because one of us should be. A couple of us should be like the extra admin. Because we're not all going to pass out. Like, I don't think.
No. And that's what I did. Like, we have it now. We haven't used it yet, but we're going to use StreamYard for our shows. And I have Big Hoss. We have some. I gave him some control too, just for,
Yeah, because it used to be him and Swift that were like in control. So if Swift was here, he would have put it down. But like now, so maybe a couple of us could be the admin.
And even like, because if we can run the show and turn it off at some point, like at least, if you want to duck out, at least we could end it or something. I'm not sure how much the admin power gives you, but.
I think you can shut it down. I think you can.
I think at least we'd have the ability. If it's just an abrupt end, we don't have the the outro and stuff. But because I don't think. Oh wait. Oh, Swift is here.
Swift.
That's who has the admin power. Okay.
Yeah, Swift has the power. Swift, let's do a quick show. He's probably just coming in to shut it down. He's like, no, we're not doing a show. We're gonna. Swift, what's up? Oh, that's what. Speaking of Swift, yeah, he has the.
Yo, can you hear me?
What's up?
We can hear you. Yep.
Dini fell asleep, bro.
Yeah, he fell asleep at the wheel. So.
I saw y'all problem in the group chat. So let me come on here and see.
Yeah, we're like we need.
We don't want to leave him here for hours. There's people watching him sleeping. So.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, cause I was on my way to bed and I had to print something out, so I came to my computer and I saw. What's going on the live?
Yeah, because I was
because we tried. Amy went to bed, so we're like, we're stuck. So
yeah, I was like, even Swift has admin power.
Yeah,
hey,
I have the
that's good.
On the seat.
Hey, not to call out Swift, but I still waiting for that rematch. We got to do a sports game one night.
Oh yeah, man, I got to make it on Thursday, man. My job, I
feel you.
It takes a lot of me, so that's why I just want you making Thursday shows.
I just want you to know I want a healthy competition, but I got your number for that. I gotta come. We gotta have a rematch there because I'm,
Hey, Swift, aren't you supposed to come back?
Yeah, I'm come back sooner or later.
Yeah, I think, like Dini was advertising you for like this summer, like you were coming back. That's what he said, like or like as a guest. Yeah, you were definitely.
Yeah, as a guest.
Yeah.
So, but I'm in the process of changing jobs, so I'll be back on the show soon.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Nice. Yeah,
There you
we
go.
need you to get on here, get crazy, and give us the sports facts and everything.
I know. I'm itching for that because no one else is on my intellectual
Yeah,
level
we're
there.
not
So
getting no sports info at all on these segments anymore. We need the sports info.
well, I can win those games, but it's not fun because SK doesn't know much about sports. So I will say Swift is worthy competition. So
Swift is the one that has the knowledge. You know, he does have the knowledge.
And
I've
what
been
was
there.
going on? Y'all put him to sleep. What happened?
I don't know. He
that's
just
what we were
stopped.
saying.
I'm like, I didn't think we were that boring, but I don't know.
We were so boring, Swift. He just
I had to
passed
go
out
back
on
and
us.
watch the show. But yeah, guys, I gotta get ready for bed. It's crazy.
All right, guys, have a good night.
Well, we appreciate the help. Well, we're gonna sign off for everybody, just so everybody knows. But this
Cheers,
was a good
everybody.
show.
Good show. Dini fell
All right,
asleep.
guys. Thank God.
Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all next time.
Yes, let's tuck somebody took the old man in.
If you want more on our other fans app, you can watch, Dini sleeping, but that's not this show tonight. So we'll
right.
That's save it for another time. Good night, all.
Have a good night.
All right, good night.
See ya.